Welcome to the Solar City Gospel Radio Show inside this Monday afternoon, the 28th day of February. I'm not going to say the last day of Black History Month because it is not the last day. No such thing. Good afternoon, Brother Dennis Walton. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sister Soraya. Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not going to say the last day either because,
No,
of
sir.
course, Black History Month is every day.
Ongoing.
Every day for those of us who understand and appreciate who we are.
That's right.
Was definitely, it's something important that we are able to highlight Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
For the time, the 28 days that they give us.
Why 28 days? Okay.
It's fine. No,
yeah, it is. It's all good.
But there is a significance,
yes.
Because there's so many different things that's going on in our world and in our society, and so many different groups of people who are acknowledged for various things.
Yeah.
That it's good to be able to shine the light on who we are. And Black History Month has become an institution
for sure
within within America, And I think that if we didn't have that month, we would kind of forget about some of the greatness that that exists within us.
I agree. Yeah.
But also, Black History Month is not what it used to be. I mean, so many other groups have come in and so many other things are being prioritized.
Right.
And so many people are just not in alignment. A lot of our young people haven't been educated properly or kept up to par with the significance of being Black.
Yeah.
That I think that when you look at what Black History Month is today,
that's right,
in our community, opposed to when we were growing up and beyond, Black, you can see where it's not as celebrated. I think that's probably the word. It's not as celebrated. It's not as focused on as it used to be.
That's right.
So what we do have, I think we need to cherish and appreciate and just continue to make the institution of what Black history is stronger.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
And use it as a catalyst to be greater.
Yes.
Because that's what Black History Month is about. How do we recognize where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going to be based upon where we come from and where we are.
For sure.
Yeah, I just think that it's such a rich, vast history with Black people being the foundation of America.
That's
and I think that's something that we can never, ever
forget.
Ever let anybody forget that we are the foundation of America.
Yeah.
As Black people here, this is our home. This is our country.
That's right.
And they say we built this country. You know what I'm saying?
And you see that hand in the back of our picture right there with
we built this country.
with this country.
And it's okay
to
recognize that, to acknowledge that, and to make sure that you remind people.
That's right.
We built this country.
And there's nothing to be sad about. You got to be proud about it.
Proud about. We built this country, and it's unfortunate that we're still fighting.
That's right.
For a lot of our freedoms, a lot of our respect.
I agree.
I still believe that Black people deserve reparations.
Yeah.
And I used to be challenged with the conversation about reparations, but as I thought about it more and more, and it's not that I'm looking for any type of handout or anything, but every other ethnic group that has been oppressed or has been violated by the United States, they've always given them reparations.
Yeah.
All of these groups that keep crossing the border and coming over here illegally, every immigrant person, they get some type of form of reparations, you know?
Okay.
And what really made me say, well, you know, the argument about reparations is, why do Black people deserve reparations? Well, first they said that it's always an argument like, well, how you gonna pay them then?
Okay.
There's no way we can afford to pay those people this, that, or the other, right? But they done paid every other group reparations that they've oppressed or that they've enslaved or that they violated, right?
Right.
But then it's like, well, how can you say, how you gonna figure out how to pay them reparations and all of this different stuff, right? And I was challenged with that, and I was thinking about it, and then the stimulus checks came.
Yes.
Over $1 trillion in stimulus that they just start giving away money to everybody. You could have been giving reparations to people, right?
Yeah.
Then, like, for example, over the last weekend, you know, there's a war going on in Ukraine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, first of all, I got wars going on right outside my door.
Right in our backyard.
I feel for the people.
Yes.
But, you know, again, I'm in war myself, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand what they're going through.
Okay.
Just living in my own neighborhood. But the first thing that the United States did to assist Ukraine in the war is they gave them $350 million, right? And then I look at how the United States has invested hundreds of millions of dollars into other countries annually.
Okay.
They give 100 million, 200, 300 millions and millions, billions and billions of dollars that they give out to other countries every year to support their economies, to support their communities, to support their people, to build their governments. They left $1 billion worth of ammunition and resources in Afghanistan after fighting like a 20-year war.
Yes.
That was like, ain't no telling how many billions of dollars that they spent annually to fight that war. And those people were just over there occupying that country, right? And then they left $1 billion worth of resources. So America, from its inception, has been funding other countries, other governments by the millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars
for a long time now.
In countries and places that they shouldn't even be in, spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. So there's no reason why they shouldn't have been able to properly compensate Black people as a way to reconcile for the sins of their ancestors who enslaved Black people. You know, so that excuse about it being, they spend billions and billions of dollars on the on war, on the Army, on the Navy, on the armed forces.
So they've been overlooked.
Think about it. They spend $100, $200, $300 million on a jet fighter.
Yes, they did.
They spend $1 million on a rocket. You know what I'm saying? You know, they spend billions.
So they put money in all the wrong places.
Every year they spend billions and billions of dollars on the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. They spend billions and billions of dollars investing into other countries. They spend billions of dollars to go to war. But you can't spend that same money to right the wrongs for people who are the foundation of your society.
Well, they're not looking at that, obviously, then.
Well, that's why I'm raising the point. And that's why I say we should give reparations.
Yeah.
And, you know, with it being, you know, the last day of so-called Black History Month.
No.
If anybody looks at this show, we need to know it should never be the last day. We should always be fighting for our respect, fighting for our recognition.
For sure.
And fighting for making sure that they know that we know who we are.
And what we stand for.
You know, you look at the, so first of all, you look at, and this is my rant, and then we can go right into our story, right? But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to give Black people reparations.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Who started the lottery?
Good question.
This is an easy question, Soraya. Who started everything? Black people. So you remember back in the days when Black people used to run numbers? When they used to gamble and they used to run numbers from pool hall
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,
Yeah, you know, they'd be like, go make sure you go play my number. Black people started the number system, right?
Okay.
For gambling. And then with the white people, it was illegal for black people to run numbers, but that's how they used to gamble and that's how they used to make money. That was their hustle.
Yeah.
So they would run numbers. Numbers are today what numbers are is the lottery.
Right.
So when they made it illegal for black people to run numbers, and used to lock people up for betting and placing their numbers and figuring out a way to create an economy for themselves, they would lock them up if they caught them running numbers. Now, what they did was they took the system that black people created and they turned it into the lottery.
Okay.
So now the lottery generates billions of dollars every year, right?
Now it's $1 billion industry now.
Billions of dollars, billions of dollars. You got to think, sometimes the lottery be 100 million.
All right.
And they just give it away. So if they can give away 100 million or 50 million or 80 million, how much money are they making if they can give away $100 million at just one time, right? So the lottery is making billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. The lottery was invented by black people. Annually, you see, who do you see playing the numbers all the time? Everybody, make sure you take my number down to the gas station, to the store, to the liquor store, because that's what is our system. We created it, right? So all these billions and billions of dollars are being generated by the lottery, a system that we created. If you wanted to give black people reparations, you could take the money from the lottery that's generated every year and invest that into reparations, and we could clean the slate right there. There's ways, what I'm saying is that there's ways to go about properly compensating black people in the name of reparations in the way that they have done other races. You can easily tap into the lottery, which we created it anyway.
But was that not a law for them to be paid from reparations? I mean, I don't understand.
No, we have not received reparations as a black people have never received reparations. It's an argument that's a diminishing argument. But the only reason why I'm saying it because I believe we should keep it alive. When you look at the money that we spend going to war annually, when you look at the money that we spend every year to occupy other countries, you know, when you look at the hundreds of millions of dollars that the United States wastefully spends, there's no way you cannot be able to compensate black people and give them reparations, in which we deserve because we are the foundation of America. And if you want a creative way to go about it, use the lottery proceeds. You understand?
Okay.
Because where does the lottery money go? Have anybody ever did an audit and actually questioned how much money does the lottery bring in annually?
Never thought of it.
Never thought of it.
State
to state. Have you ever just figured like how much money does the lottery bring in every year? They never give you an audit,
and then even when
give you a report,
and then even when that person win or when the people win, when they split it, like when people win, they split it in like 3 or 4 or 5 ways or something like that.
If 3 or 4 or 5 people won, it depends. You know what I'm saying? But my point is that have we ever taken the time to say, how much money does the lottery bring in annually? And then
trillions of dollars.
How much money does black people alone spend in the lottery? So even if you didn't want to give the entire lottery, you could just give black people what they put into the lottery back to them and reinvest it into the community as a form of reparations. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is just me putting things out there and being creative as well. The Indians, right? They gave the Indians reparations. The Indians get paid for what happened to their race of people. They get a check every month. You know what I'm saying? And from the time that they born into being Indians, they get money every month. And then when they turn 18, they get a big lump sum of money.
Interesting.
You understand what I'm saying? So from the time they born, they have a dollar amount that's attached to them that's building interest. Then when they turn 18, they get a big lump sum of money, right? But then they've given Indians the exclusive right to all gambling outside of the lottery in the United States. So black people can't open up a casino. Why can't black people open? Who do you know opens up casinos? Indians, right? Indians, and if you go to Las Vegas, Italians, right? But outside of that,
we ain't got no casino.
But what do black people spend all their time at the casino?
Right there in Vegas.
or at right there at Potawatomi.
Or right at Potawatomi. Or Ho-Chunk. Right.
Or Ho-Chunk. And all of that, right? Mm-hmm. So the Indians, not only do they get reparations, but they also get billions and billions of dollars off of gambling. Right?
Yeah.
And now the governor has allowed for them to expand gambling.
Yeah.
You know, now do you know what kind of deficit or what kind of detriment gambling puts on a strain that gambling puts on a community when people become addicted to gambling? Have you ever been to Potawatomi? When you go to all you can eat.
For a wedding, and I ducked through the casino. For a wedding, and actually, you didn't have to put me on blast like that. It was No. Chris Crane got married at Potawatomi.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, I don't eat crab legs.
Roast beef, my boy. All you can eat roast beef. Okay, I'm sorry.
And he did have roast beef on his menu. But for the record, I don't eat crab legs.
Okay, but my point is,
you didn't have to put me on blast like that. Dennis Walton. But I did go down to Potawatomi for a wedding.
Okay.
And this video, this show is gonna go viral. And my Uncle Bishop was aware of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Dennis Walton, you are absolutely out of order for that. But yes, I did go down to Potawatomi for a wedding.
My point is, if you go to Potawatomi, who you see?
My cousin said, "Don't start, Dennis."
My point is, if you go to Potawatomi, you see people down there just giving all their money away.
That's true.
Giving their whole life away.
That's very true.
I always used to trip when I go to Potawatomi.
And that's why you lost your phone bill money.
No,
gambling.
I lost my money a couple times, but I was mad. I don't like losing. I'm a sore loser. I don't have no money to lose, so you ain't gonna catch me down there gambling like that. Cause I ain't got it.
It's not worth it. I'm telling you.
But people be down there on oxygen tanks
for hours.
When I saw the people down there on the oxygen tank smoking a cigarette,
that's sad.
You know, and then like I like to go into happy, cheerful places, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever you go to Potawatomi, it's not a cheerful place.
It's not. It's supposed to be.
No, everybody just got this like seriousness and this look on their face, like
determined to win.
Man, like they'll kill you up in there.
Really?
If you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, it might be a shootout.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when you go on Potawatomi.
Okay.
Nobody ain't talking. Nobody ain't being social.
Really?
Everybody just zeroed in on gambling.
Oh my God.
So I never really liked the feeling of Potawatomi because it's not a happy experience.
Okay.
You know, and then everybody watching everybody money and everybody watching who winning and all of this kind of stuff.
Really?
It's not like a pleasant experience.
It's not a pleasant atmosphere.
But so many Black people were down there. And now they just expanded gambling.
Really?
To where they're going to be doing sports betting. So the governor, they cut another deal with Potawatomi or with the Indians to where they're going to expand gambling in the state of Wisconsin. They already did it in Oneida.
Sports betting.
So the same way you could bet on sports in Las Vegas, you can bet on the football game, the basketball game, hockey, college.
Oh, okay.
Now you're going to be able to do that along with the gambling as far as all the casino games. You're going to be able to do sports betting. At Potawatomi. So now that's billions and billions and billions of dollars.
More dollars,
that they're going to be bringing in.
That's right.
So why would the governor cut this deal with the Indians to allow them to expand betting when they're already making billions and billions of dollars at the expense of, you know, all of the people within the state? They're already making all of this money. Now you're going to expand it. Why? Because election time's coming up. Why? Because he's trying to create stronger allies. Why? Because he needs money for his campaign to be strong, because he's going up against a tough Republican, foe, which is Rebecca Clayfish.
Right.
And he's going to need a lot of money. So he has to make sure that all these powerful institutions are backing him and lining him. So he got to cut those deals right now. So now, again, when we talk about Black people and Black people being able to get reparations, we go down there as a people and we spend all this money down at Potawatomi playing bingo and playing, all the gambling games and all of this, right? But Black people not allowed to open up no casino, but they spending all their money at the casino.
OMG.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all these other races are getting access to all these different privileges that allow for them to amass a financial empire to institutionalize their way of life, to set their legacies up, and to set legacies up for their families and the generations to come.
Right.
But we haven't been afforded anything like that. We've always had to work from behind. They never even gave us our 40 acres and a mule. That was the most simplest thing that you could have did, was make sure that when Black people came off the plantation, when they came out of slavery, you made sure that you gave them their 40 acres and a mule. They promised them that, but they rescinded it. So now what everybody Black do, got to fight to be a homeowner, and can't pay to go to college and school and all these different type of things. We got every type of setback because we've always had to work from behind. Now, I'm not making no excuses for anything, because we can get it. We gonna get it. We've been getting it. We are creative people. And, God got us. We are able to get things done. Black people are resilient. Black people are resilient and very significant in the world when it comes to being creative and continuously birthing new things and reinventing ourselves, right? But we still have always had to operate from a deficit, never from an overflow. And other people are getting propped up right now, other people are getting propped up right now, and they don't have to go through the same experience, or they don't have to go through the same struggle. And we the ones who, again, are the foundation for every other group that's coming up in here. So just with all that being said, we deserve reparations.
All right. Well, we didn't mean to start the show. We didn't mean to start the show off that way. That's not his final thought, but yeah.
No, I was thinking about that when I see them giving all the money to the other countries.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, man, we don't have to be in a condition.
Somebody said you sound angry.
I ain't angry. See, that's what they always want to make you out to be, the angry Black man.
Angry man.
When you start speaking up for your people.
No, but it's the truth, though. It is the truth.
Nah, I'm just saying, though.
It's not the truth that you're angry, but you're speaking the truth.
I'm angry too.
What? Make up your mind.
I'm a little upset, but no, let's go.
All right,
y'all. Let's get this show started.
All right, so nevertheless, welcome back to another edition of the Soul of the City Gospel Radio Show. We are back live and in color.
Yeah.
So glad to be back. So much has gone on since we've last aired.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on, and starting off here in our city. Dennis, not sure if you heard. I know you've been busy with your own thing that you got going on, but Milwaukee police has been under fire. Have you heard?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard?
It's interesting, Soraya, because my brother Tyree, what's up, Tyree? He's paying attention. So we need to understand how our money are being allocated.
Yes. And we need to know what's going on before they spend. Yes, right? Tyree Davis.
And the reason why I'm bringing Tyree up, because me and Tyree, and Tyree's going to be coming back on the show soon.
Is this the young man that was involved with the police shooting?
This is the young man who was shot by the police.
By the police. Okay. Speaking of the police. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Just to be clear, who was shot by the police for no reason. He did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yes.
And he had to survive being violated by the police.
Yes.
Victimized by the police. His family being victimized by the police.
Yes.
And then he's still going through the process of healing through that traumatizing, terrorizing.
Yes.
And potentially life-ending circumstance.
And overall, thank God he lived.
Yeah.
Thank God he lived.
So to me, Tyree and myself, we were a part of a demonstration last week where we went and did a press conference at City Hall. Right.
I saw you on television. Speaking of that.
Who, me?
Yes, I did. Me? Yes, without handcuffs on this time. Yeah. Yes, without an orange suit and handcuffs on this time.
Did they get my good side?
You don't have a good side. You don't, but nevertheless.
Hey, look, so me and Tyree, we went to go do a press conference.
Yeah.
And the press conference was specifically about potentially establishing an alternative to the Fire and Police Commission, to where we want to create our own community fire and police, a version of it, because again, I think it's safe to say that the community doesn't have faith in the fire and police commissions that have been established over the years, right? And one of the things that we want to initiate is that we want to make sure that when there's an altercation with the police and the police have this body cam footage, if they shoot somebody, if they violate somebody,
yes,
that body cam footage should be released to the community
immediately.
Yes, within 24 to 48 hours, they should be releasing that body cam footage. And one of the reasons why that's a really important issue is because of someone like Tyree, who has been fighting in court for over 2 years to get his body cam footage, where they've been holding the footage and concealing the footage and not allowing him access to it, or not allowing the community access to it.
Are they manipulating the footage of some sort? Or what are they doing?
We don't know what they're doing, and that's a problem.
Why are they holding the footage?
Why would they hold the body?
Yeah, right.
So they hold the footage because they want to study the footage. They want to get all the information they can from it, and they want to prepare defenses for themselves.
What more do you want to study? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying that if the community just can see the footage right away,
right,
and that don't give them a chance to make up their lives,
that's right,
their defense, put all their people in place. It gives them an advantage to have access to the video.
That's right.
That's why it's a video being taken, so that people can clearly see what's happening.
Yeah.
But when you hold the video, it allows for you to make up the story, manipulate the video,
right,
put your lawyers in place, prepare your defense. Then it gives you an advantage if you've done something wrong. And here we have a brother like Tyree Davis, who was victimized, shot by the police. It was on the body cam footage, and they violated his family. And his body cam footage has been held up for over 2 years, right? So that's one of the things that we're requesting, or not even requesting, but demanding, saying that, the police are accountable to the community, and this is what we want to see happen in the manner of these situations where there's police shootings, right? So that's why we were on the news, because we were standing with the group, standing in unison with a group who's promoting those same values.
Yeah.
Right. So but the reason why I brought that up is because when we were at the press conference, after the press conference, we were all supposed to be at we were invited to come down to the 5th District Police Station.
Oh,
our press conference
was at
12 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Right?
Wait.
Our press conference was at 12 o'clock.
Wait a minute, what time was that shooting? Oh my God.
Our press conference was at 12 o'clock.
You see why I be worried about you then as well, too?
In the 5th District.
Was it before the shooting or after that shooting?
It was at 4:30.
OMG, Dennis.
So the dude came in there and shot the police station up after the press conference while protesters were still in the building.
God, I thank you.
So I was literally supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. I got invited, but I was like, I ain't going to that.
Thank God for his protection.
My spirit just was like, I'm not going there.
Thank God for his protection.
We're not going to go to that press conference.
Thank God.
That dude came in there and shot up the building. So go ahead, read the story.
I don't even, you know what? I'm just speechless.
I was supposed to be there, but I didn't show up.
You told the story.
No, I just told that I was supposed to be at a place. You could tell the story.
I got to find the story. I'm sorry. I'm just speechless.
What happened was, and I've been hearing the street version and
what the street version is, the suspect walked into the police station, the 5th District on 5th and Locust, and opened fire at 7 police officers. Is that what the story was?
Yeah. That's the story.
And of course, they are on administrative duty, and they end up shooting the suspect.
They end up shooting the suspect, right? And so let's talk about this, right? This is a really good story to talk about in relation to.
But I want to know what made him walk into the police station and open fire.
What made him walk into the police station and open up fire, allegedly.
Okay.
Because I got to start using this allegedly word so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
But allegedly, what happened is that the boy who died in police custody
the day before, yes,
that was his brother. That was his brother. Allegedly, that was his brother. And that's what made him, because his brother died in police custody,
right?
That's what made him snap off and go into the police station and just start shooting at the police. So he comes in the police station, fires off, just start firing off at the police. Then he takes off running. He didn't shoot any of the police, and then the police chased him down and shot him like several times.
Right.
And then so my friend who does construction, the police chased him into the yard of the house where my friend was doing construction at. They said that they shot the boy like just shot him up a bunch of times. Then they cut his clothes off of him to check to see where the wounds are. Had him outside handcuffed, butt naked, allegedly, in the yard. And then they said that when the police they just started shooting at him, like wildly shooting at him. The bullets went through people's houses, through people's windows. The house where my friend was working on, they said 2 bullets came through the wall and went through the wall of his son's bedroom. So this goes back to another, just like the same thing that happened with Tyree Davis. And for those of you who are not aware, the Tyree Davis story is something that you definitely need to check out. Go to the website, the Davis story. If you can find that link, Soraya, and put it up so people can.
Is it thedavisstory.com?
Yeah, thedavisstory.com. But again, if you don't know about the Davis story, the police were chasing another young man, and they tried to shoot the young man in the back, basically in the back or in the back of the head. The young man tripped and fell, and by him tripping and falling, the police ended up shooting Tyree Davis instead of shooting the suspect that they were trying to shoot. Now, here the same thing happened. The police are running through
thecasefordavis.com.
Yeah, the case for Davis. Right. The police are chasing a man who shot up the police station. They just start shooting at him, but while they shooting, the bullets are going into other people's houses and almost hitting those people. How do you just run and just start shooting they shooting like the dudes on the street? You're a police officer. You're not, if you're gonna shoot your gun, the bullet is supposed to go in the person. It's not supposed to go through a house or through a person's window or through a child's bedroom and potentially shoot an innocent person. Because if I go outside and I start shooting and the bullet, if I shoot at somebody and the bullet goes in somebody else's house, that's attempted murder. That's reckless endangerment of safety.
That's right.
I'm going to jail for that. So why shouldn't the police? So again, one of the things that we're fighting for is that the police need to be held to the same standard that the police people in the community are held to, And again, you got the story right there. Let's pull this up real quick. So this exact same situation could have happened while they were chasing this boy down the street and just start shooting at people, shooting at this man, and then the bullets start going at other people's houses, almost killing them. Now you're going to see Tyree Davis. Pay close attention to this footage. That's Tyree Davis laying there bleeding at his home while he was just having movie night with his daughters. And the police just opened fire and tried to shoot another black man in the back and ended up shooting him and he had nothing to do with the circumstance or the situation. And the reason why it's important to play this because that's the same thing that just happened with this young man. He runs in the police station and starts shooting, allegedly at the police officer. They chase him, start shooting at him while he's running. First of all, if the man is running away, you're not supposed to be shooting at a person that's running away from you, right? Let's get that out the way.
Right.
If they're advancing towards you, because if a person is running, I don't care what a person did to you. If they're running from me,
running away.
If they're running away from
in
me,
front of you,
I can't just shoot them in the back of the head.
Right. They're running in front of you.
If they're running in front of me,
right.
And I'm chasing them,
right. Yeah.
And they're trying to get away from me.
You can't shoot because you're shooting.
I can't just chase somebody down and shoot them
because you're shooting them down
because they did something to me. Now I just start chasing them.
Right.
I'm going to jail, even if they did something to me. If I start chasing them down the street and I shoot them in the back of the head, I'm going to jail. So why is the police chasing somebody who's running away from them, trying to shoot them in the back, and then accidentally shoots a innocent person? Same thing with this man. Why are several police chasing this man down the street and shooting at him, and then end up shooting in people's houses? So
they went on a shooting rampage. Like,
but again, so
wow, that's amazing.
The story goes that this young man ran up into the police station and started shooting at the police because his brother had previously died in police custody the night before.
So did they say why the brother So did they say what happened to the brother?
No, they're not saying what happened to the brother, but the streets are talking. And I'm gonna kind of, out of respect for the situation, I'm not gonna just talk about what the street talk is. But
so unfortunate.
So the young man died. The young man died in police custody.
Because they did say, and I have the news story here, said that when they went back to his cell, they noticed that he needed medical attention.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a reason why they say he needed medical attention.
Right.
Because again, and without being explicit, the word is that he ingested something.
Right.
Oh my God. Allegedly, he ingested something.
My heart goes out to his mother, his children, his family. I'm so sorry.
So,
oh my God.
Again, this goes to why there's a video of everything that happened and everything that didn't happen. And the police should have immediately put that video out so that the community could understand what happened with that circumstance or with that situation. But I think the larger point is that we're seeing a trend in violence in our community that's going to another level, right? Think about the fact that this young man was so upset about what happened that he took it upon himself to put his life on the line. He didn't care about himself or nothing, and he went into the police station and pulled out a gun and started shooting at the police.
And eventually, the police was gonna kill him.
But the fact that he was so heartless and he didn't care, the fact that he was so fed up, or the fact that his mind was at a place where he felt like, look, I'm going in and I'm gonna kill these people. I'm gonna let them know you can die too. Think about the mindset. And this young man was, I think, 23 years old.
Oh my God.
23 years old. And you walk into the gas station, walk into the police station with that type of anger.
You that bold.
And vengefulness in your heart that you just start shooting at the police. Oh man. So what I'm saying is that if he has that mindset, how many other young people or people, period, have that same mindset? How many people is that festering in right now that's ready to run up in the police station and start shooting at the police? He's not the only one. That's what I'm telling you. And what you've seen, the trend of police getting shot all year.
That's right.
How many police got shot over the last couple months?
It's been quite a few.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people was not playing. They just like fed up. People just like, forget it. I'm shooting. I'm going for mine. They going to war with the police, shooting at the police, running the police over, shooting the police, running in police stations, shooting. that's a bad sign for our society.
That's right.
Like, you got to understand that when your society get to this breaking point and you start losing all civility
and all respect,
all civility is just going
that's
to the
right,
wayside.
Right.
Man, that's a major circumstance and a major situation that we're facing in the coming days as it's getting 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 degrees.
Oh.
Safety is going to be a major priority. And you don't see any safety initiatives that are coming down the line to help curb any other violence.
And don't see it getting no better.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. When they're at the point where they're running into the police station, and shooting at the police,
absolutely,
you got a bad circumstance. You got a situation going on in your community that's ruthless. That's just straight up heartless or ruthless. Like, it's I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna kill the police.
That's right.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be throwing grenades and bombs up in the police station. You know what I'm saying? But my point is that all of this stuff is just not conducive to a civil society. And we want to have a civil society. We want to live in a community that's crime free. We want to live in a community that doesn't have police brutality, where people not dying in police custody. Now, you do have to do a proper investigation to see, did the police contribute to this man's death, or was there something that happened that he initiated that caused his death? We don't know that at this point.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily know that the police did anything wrong in this situation. But at the same time, the relationship between police and the community is so strained that this is what's happening, that we're not even giving the police the benefit of the doubt no more. It's like, oh, no, it's on. We've run it up in here. Y'all kill us, we killing you.
It's not going to be a one-way shooting. It's going to be a shootout, huh?
It's gonna be, and again, that's what it was, a shootout.
Oh, my God.
And unfortunately, this young man, he got the worst end of it.
He did.
But the fact that he had the heart, and the determination, and the courage, and the will,
and the gut
to go up in there and start shooting at them people.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of.
But just going back to the conversation we had regarding Mr. Tyree Davis.
Yeah.
What was the end result? Or what was the end result with the program you all started? Concerning the concerning the firing commission.
Oh no, program. It's something that we're initiating right now.
Okay, so that's ongoing.
Yeah, it's something that we're looking to establish right now.
All right, wonderful. And of course, with the attorneys and everything that he's gotten involved, how is his case coming? Is it still forthcoming?
Yeah.
How is it?
A lot of it we're still he's still, his case is coming up.
Is he on the winning side?
It's moving through the court system right now.
Okay, good.
He was fortunate that he has a really good attorney.
Okay.
Who's very knowledgeable. And working diligently.
Okay.
To help again move the case forward.
Okay, good.
And so he had, over the next few weeks, his preliminary court hearings are going to be starting, and they're headed to trial. Right now, it looks like they're headed to trial. But what we're going to do is that hopefully next week we'll be able to interview Mr. Davis and bring him back in here and allow him to give us an update on the situation.
What happened to the young man that they were chasing? I don't think he ever talked about the young man that they were chasing. What happened to him?
He ended up going to jail. He didn't have a criminal record.
Okay.
And they ended up letting him out of jail. But the young man wasn't like a troublemaker or anything.
Right. Okay.
The reason why they were chasing him was simply for a traffic stop. He hadn't pulled a weapon. He didn't have a weapon. He didn't have drugs.
And they end up mistaking Tyree for him.
They didn't mistake Tyree for him, because he had been allegedly assaulted by the police. He was afraid of the police. So when they pulled him over, he didn't pull over in the place where they wanted him to pull over, because he thought they was gonna beat him up. So he drove to his neighborhood to pull over.
Right.
And he started trying to get people to come out so that they could witness him being pulled over by the police,
right,
because he had previously been beat up by the police. So opposed to him just stopping at the light, he takes off. They start chasing him. He afraid. He jump out the car and start running. While he running, as you saw in the video, the police try to shoot him in the back. And while he's running, and he trips and falls, and when he trips and falls, Tyree is standing there, and the police end up shooting Tyree Davis.
Okay, right.
So hopefully we'll be able to have Mr. Davis come in on next month.
Okay.
Next week.
All right. Again, to view the video, you can go to thecasefordavis.com, thecasefordavis.com. All right, Dennis, not sure if you heard about that shooting in Vegas. Did you hear about that shooting in Vegas?
I did not.
Yes. Las Vegas police searched yesterday, for suspects a day after 14 people were shot during a party at a hookah lounge, leaving one man dead and 2 other critically wounded. Detectives believe 2 suspects, who they did not identify, exchanged gunfire inside the hookah bar and fled before police arrived before dawn on Saturday. Dispatchers received a call at about 3:15 a.m. about multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds after an altercations at Manny's Glow Ultra Lounge and Restaurant. Police didn't immediately provide an update Sunday on a possible motive for the shooting, release new details, or provide information about the suspects they were seeking. The injured people were taken to University Medical and Sunrise Hospital Medical Center, but officials on Sunday didn't immediately provide condition updates about the 13 remaining patients. While police had described the condition of 2 victims on Saturday as critical, they did not disclose details about the nature of their injuries. So it was a shooting yesterday. 14 people were shot.
And where this was at?
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, Nevada.
At a hookah bar.
Hookah lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can say is that we got to be really careful. Like, I'm very hesitant to go out anywhere nowadays, honestly.
Yep,
and I hate that I feel like that, because I never was really like I never was really like a scary person or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't even about being scared. It's about being safe.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much crazy stuff going on now.
Right.
Like, man.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah. So.
Right. So in other news, this mask mandate. The Biden administration will significantly loosen federal mask wearing guidelines to protect against COVID-19 transmission on last Friday. Now, Dennis.
You know I'm about to go off on this.
I know. The CDC announced last week. I know, Dennis, but they announced last week a change to the metrics it's used to determine whether to recommend face coverings. So, roughly, it says here, 95% of U.S. counties now, they saying that that mask mandate is about to end. What do you think about that? And our next door neighbors, Racine, they saying they're ending the mask mandate. Okay.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, right? I just want to know how people feel about it, you know, before I give my 2 cents about it.
Racine Mayor Corey Mason has announced last week on Thursday, they have signed their executive order suspending the Enforcement City face mask ordinance.
Okay.
And they're going to end this on tomorrow at 7:00 p.m.
Yeah. So first I want to say I stand with Kyrie.
Y'all think it's too late or think it's too early?
I stand with Kyrie Irving.
What you think?
I tell you, I stand with Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving is? Who is Kyrie and what do he think?
Well, Kyrie Irving is the superstar basketball player from the Brooklyn Nets. He played with Kevin Durant.
Okay, that's who beat us on Saturday.
Yeah. I don't stand with him on that.
Okay.
But,
okay.
But Kyrie was one of the very few. Well, one of the only black.
Oh, yes.
One of the only basketball players in the NBA who didn't take the shot.
Yes.
And they banned him from playing.
I remember that.
In his city where he could play in the away games.
Right.
He was like, I'm not taking it. Now, personally, we've had this conversation. It's foolish and it's going to come back strong. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Personally, what I think is this. I'm like, we've been going through
2 years?
Going through hell with this pandemic.
Yes.
I mean, they just sprung this thing up on us. It's killing off our people. It's killed off so many of our elders, right? So many of our elders have died from coronavirus. And then they're not even talking about how many of our elders have died from negligence, right? And mishandling and misinformation. And how many people they rushed and put them on a ventilator, and the ventilator killed all these thousands and thousands and thousands of people all across the United States, that they're putting older people or elders on ventilators in nursing homes who were so-called catching COVID, and the ventilators were killing them, right? And then, the whole thing started in Wuhan, China, and China has so-called accidentally released this virus into the world, and not one country has held China accountable. Not one country has held that. That's an act of war. You accidentally release a virus into the global community, and it starts killing people all over the world.
Okay.
And not one time have you heard anybody hold China accountable, except for you hear Republicans talking about it.
Right.
But you haven't heard anything that comes from the United States that says we got to hold China accountable for the fact that they negligently released this virus into the global community, and all these millions and millions or hundreds of millions of people have been affected by this, and millions of people have died.
Yeah.
So I always go back to, if I accidentally shoot somebody in the head,
you're going to be held accountable.
I'm held accountable. I'm going to jail.
Yes.
How do you accidentally kill millions and millions of people and no one holds you accountable? So that's strange within itself.
Right.
How do you release a pandemic into the world?
You are to blame.
And no one's being held responsible for where this virus has come from.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, while they're releasing, when they release the virus, the first place it ends up is on Locust Street.
So are you for the mandate?
Am I for what?
So are you for the mandate? Do you think this mandate should be released? Do you think we should continue? Do you think we should continue to wear these masks?
If you look at my face, what would you think?
I'm trying not to look at your face. Oh my God! I'm really trying not to look at your face. Thank God he gave me eyes that small eyes. So
okay. Thank you for ending my rant. Right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go away.
I'm glad. So I'm asking you. The question is.
So I was never with the mandate in the first place.
I understand that. So I'm asking. Okay.
I was never with mandates.
Okay.
I don't think anything, like I never was with them mandating vaccination,
right?
Or mandating people having to wear masks.
Hello, Miss Tequila Parker. Thank you for tuning in, honey.
I was never with any of that, the mandates.
Okay.
But because I respect the law,
yes,
and society,
your law
when they brought forth the mandates to wear the mask, respectfully, when I go into a place that say you need to have a mask on, I put on a mask.
Yes.
Just because I disagree with it doesn't mean that I don't have to obey the rules, right?
Yeah.
So I took that perspective. Just because I might not agree with wearing a mask everywhere I go, there are rules and regulations in the civil society that you have to follow. You might not like them. So when I went into certain places, they say wear your mask, I wore a mask.
Right.
For the most part, I just stayed away from everywhere because I don't like wearing no mask.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like putting no mask over my face and a mask over my face all day long. I can't breathe. It's obstructing my breathing.
Right.
Like it's so uncomfortable. And plus, I don't think that is sanitary. I don't think that is healthy.
That's right.
I don't think that you should be walking around with a mask on all day, breathing
and inhaling. That's right.
Into your mask and inhaling the bacteria back into your body.
Yeah.
Once it comes out of your body, it's supposed to go into the environment so that it can, get up out of you.
Yeah.
So breathing into a mask all day long, I think was an unhealthy thing. But at the same time, I respected the mandates because it was the laws that was put in place that we had to abide by.
Okay.
But no, I did not agree with them.
Okay.
Same thing with the vaccination.
Yeah.
I think that anybody who genuinely wanted to get a vaccination and they felt like the vaccination was something that was going to help improve them, they had every right to go and get the vaccination. But I also feel like people who didn't want to get the vaccination had every right to not get the vaccination, and you shouldn't have penalized and punished people.
That's right.
For a vaccination.
Yep.
So now over the last 2 years, our society has been just destroyed with COVID and all the fear around COVID and all of this propaganda and having to do all this thing. And now all of a sudden, next month, COVID over with.
When it's worse.
All these people going 2 shots. You didn't have sitting here, everybody going crazy for the last 2 years. Now all of a sudden, COVID over with. Okay. COVID just over. Spit in my face and tell me it's raining.
It's done. It's over
now
with.
COVID over with. All of a sudden, COVID is over with next month. And I just wonder, where's the level of intelligent discussion around these circumstances that these people are just trying to? I just don't get it.
I don't know, Dennis.
Where is it? I don't get it. I do not get it at all. I don't understand how we could go through 2 years of this virus destroying and ravaging our community. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue predict that next month is over with. Now we just had the Omicron variant that just popped up out of nowhere.
And then now, you are talking about a 4th booster shot. Now you playing with my life.
Man.
And don't play with my life.
Now they've been playing with your life from the beginning.
Okay. And so
now all these people that ran and took a shot on top of a shot on top of a shot on top of a shot.
I did.
The shot didn't prevent people from getting COVID. They still getting COVID. The COVID was just spreading like crazy last month. Dr. Carter just so-called died from COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody still was dying from COVID. Now all of a sudden next month you can take your mask off and COVID is over with.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
I'm totally against it. I think we should.
Against what?
I don't want the mandate to end because of. I want us to continue to wear the mask. I'm being honest because this pandemic is not over.
Did you
honestly?
When COVID first started, were you wearing masks?
Mm-hmm.
Did you still catch COVID?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay.
Dennis, you I did.
Okay, all right.
I did catch COVID, but I still took the necessary precautions as well too.
To not catch COVID.
To not catch COVID again. Absolutely. But no, I don't think this.
So but you caught it once or twice?
I caught it one time.
Yeah, did your body built up on you?
Absolutely.
You ever caught it again?
I have not caught it again. Absolutely.
So I just think.
Yes, we are covered by the blood, Keisha. Absolutely.
I'm covered.
Well, is this Keisha or Elward? Is this Keisha or Elward? Elward and Keisha have a page together.
I don't know, but she's right.
Keisha or Elward? Keisha, please, or Elward, respond. Is this Keisha or Elward?
I'm covered
because they both probably open. Okay, I don't know who I'm. Okay, yes, we are covered by the blood. Yes, we are.
Hey,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just feel like.
So I don't know.
All of a sudden, after 2 years of all our people being ravaged and killed and going to the hospital, being on ventilators, and all this crazy stuff.
Okay, Keisha. Okay.
Yeah. All this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of nowhere, it's over with next month. All that they're releasing, they're dropping all the mandates, they're dropping them out. Why would they be doing this? Mm-hmm. I just don't. Why? If I just think people are too sheepish. It's like whatever is told to us, we just follow what they tell us.
And we fall for
it. And we don't do no real thorough investigation. Mm-hmm. We don't have no real intelligent way of processing what's happening to us. And we sheepish. We like sheep. You lead us to wherever they lead us to, that's where we go. Yeah. And it's crazy, man. All these people that died, families been ruined by COVID. People still having COVID effects and all this kind of stuff. Mm. Then you just gonna automatically tell people next month it's over with. We know we've been killing y'all for the last 2 years, but the virus over with. Hooray! Next month it's over with.
Okay.
So I feel like, first of all, the numbers were way overinflated from the beginning.
Yeah, because at first
I don't care. You get shot in the toe. And they'd be like,
yeah, because they would apply COVID to everything.
Everything. You get shot in the head and die.
It was COVID.
If you had COVID when you got shot in the head, they're gonna be like, he died from COVID.
Yeah.
Everything was COVID. There was no more common cold. There was no more flu. It's just all been COVID.
Because it was like if you sneeze, COVID. I mean, I couldn't even get it. God bless you. It was like, you all right?
Yeah, man. No, ain't no God bless you.
You straight? You straight?
What's wrong with you? Not God bless you.
It's like you get the eyeball. Like, you good?
I just feel bad for a lot of people. I feel bad for our society. Yeah. The way that they just keep playing these games.
Well, here's some stats right here. The Milwaukee Health Department just last week, Friday, reported the declining trends of COVID-19, and the city saw 71.5 new COVID-19 cases per 100,000 people over the past week. The disease burden dropped from the previous week, 128.9. The gating metric improved from high to substantial transmission. Percent positivity to 4.4% compared to 6.3 to the previous week. So, I don't know, Dennis. Don't know.
I don't know. But my thing is that I would like to have a conversation about COVID.
Yeah.
That's outside of. I want the conversation to be outside of all of the false information that we keep getting coming from, in my mind, in my opinion, coming from the CDC, coming from directly from the government, coming from, like the information has not been consistent.
Well, that's
what it has not been educational to really help us understand, in my perspective, what we need to do. I want to talk to people who really can have a real conversation about this without it just being some force-fed information that somebody told you or that you just heard or that you repeat over and over again.
Yeah.
This does not make sense that all of a sudden now there's this dramatic drop when just last month the hospitals was packed and overloaded and people dying from the Omicron every second.
Yeah,
so my point is that they overinflated the numbers in the first place because they labeled everything COVID. So it's easy to come and say the numbers is dropped if the numbers was never what they was in the first place.
Now, the mask ordinance for the city of Milwaukee remains in effect through March 1st.
Next month, COVID over with.
Tomorrow,
COVID over with.
Tomorrow.
I mean, if that's the case, if these numbers that they're stating is really true, I think, of course, I don't want to see our community continuing to suffer from a pandemic.
Yeah.
But just the mind games and just the whole social experiment that they're, we're an experiment.
Yeah.
I think all these shots and everything have been an experiment.
Okay.
And you're not going to know for the next 5, 6, 7 years exactly what the result of it is.
Okay. All right, y'all, 5 minutes after the hour, 1:00 p.m. We're going to take a quick break, all right? Be right back.
Design and Print, where they provide innovative and quality designs. They provide custom business cards, flyers, obituaries, events tickets, t-shirts, banners, and more. They are the one-stop shop for all your graphic designs and printing needs. Call today at 414-699-7729. That's 414-699-7729. Or visit them on the web at hdmediagrp.com. HD Graphic and Print. Let them make your next event a memorable one. It's HD Graphic Design and Print, where they provide...
The whole world been watching and waiting for our return.
Well, the wait is over. We're about to give people what they want and what they need, so you better get ready.
right, what?
Right on time.
Yes, you did.
We black.
Yes.
We black, baby.
All right, 12 minutes after the hour at 1 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
We are back to the Soul of the City Gospel Radio Show, and we are excited indeed. We are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Again, if you have not done so by now, we do have an app. We know that you're on your phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We know that you have it in your hand right now. If you do have it in your hand, go to our app right now. Go to your Play Store and download the app, HD Radio Online. Do it right now. One word, HD Radio Online. It is free.
You will not be disappointed.
Right at your disposal. All right.
At all. And shout out to all of the people who are downloading the app. I've been getting like some great feedback, Soraya. Like you've been getting some tremendous compliments on the music selection that you have been choosing. You know, they be trying to give, they be like, that music you be playing, it be so good. And I had to be honest, like, no, that's Sister Soraya over here playing all that good music.
Wonderful.
But you know, people are just really enjoying the radio station.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it too. You know what I mean? If you listen to it, you know, everything is just really stepping up. The quality, the sound, the commercials, the drop. They don't know. There's a lot of work that goes into, even though we have a lot of improvement to do, the work that we're doing, there's a lot of work that's going into it. And I have to give credit to Soraya because she's holding it down. Like most of that is her just behind the scenes, doing the editing, doing the drops, loading the music up, arranging things, you're doing a fabulous job, you know, in spite of the few obstacles that we're still overcoming. But people are definitely giving some great feedback. And if you're out there listening, we really appreciate you for tuning in, for downloading the app, and for just being consistent with listening to the music. Please keep sharing and spreading the word on HD Radio, Higher Dimension, the Soul of the City. Again, to tell your friends, keep downloading and letting people know that if you want to listen to some great gospel music, some great inspirational music, motivational music, you want to hear a really good talk show, the Soul of the City, go to HD Radio Online.
And they can also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well too.
You definitely can.
HD.
If you want to just see the show, you can definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Soul of the City Gospel Radio Show. And you can always replay all of these videos and these podcasts that we're doing. But also, if you just want to hear a great show via radio and listen to great music, please download the app HD Radio Online, one word.
Or you can go to our website at hdmediagrp.com. That's hdmediagrp.com. That's hdmediagrp.com. If you have a business or church or ministry you want to grow with us, you can email us at hdradio21@gmail.com. You can advertise with us at hdradio21@gmail.com. Don't forget to become our friend. Like us. We are on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and or TikTok. We are on those social media sites as well. In fact, we are on Facebook right now. We are on there live. So please like and share this video right now. We are on live right now. So please like and share this video right now on Facebook.com. All right. Please, we thank you so much.
Well, we see. I got Tyree Davis
for your prayers and for your support. What do you got to say?
Tyree is checking back in with us over here. And he says, what's that he says, Soraya?
The many Black cities that we deserve reparations for, the displacement and land ownership taken from our people deserve reparations.
Yeah, going back to the reparations conversation.
Absolutely.
Man, don't give me a street. I don't want no more Martin Luther King streets. I don't want no more, you know, the first black this and the first black that. Give me my money.
All right. So speaking of that, I'm sorry to be the, well, I don't want to say the bearer of bad news, but we have more good news. It's been closed for more than a decade. America's Black Holocaust Museum reopened, Dennis.
Woo-woo,
Please, don't. I knew you was gonna do that. I knew you was gonna do that. I knew you was gonna do that.
I would be nice.
Please be nice.
Cool. Go ahead.
It reopened. Don't do my story.
You doing good. I ain't said nothing.
Freedom will be. It will be won. It's gonna be okay.
Give us freedom.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. All right. Oh, no. But the American Black Holocaust Museum reopened on last Friday. All right. So it's been closed for more than a decade now. So they reopened it, and it's roughly about 5,000 square feet, 500 years of history. So congratulations to them. They said the $10 million donation means Friday reopening was just the beginning.
They got 10 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
So congratulations to them. So
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a great. I think it's great to make sure that we're continuing the legacy of the great Black people who have preceded us, who have been our pioneers, who have been the pioneers of this community. And we can make sure that we're honoring and remembering them. Mr. James.
Right.
Cameron.
Yes.
Had a story that was just like no other. Right. And when you went into the Black Holocaust Museum, because when I was younger, I used to go all the time. And I used to kind of.
That was on 4th and North Avenue. Yeah.
So I used to go in there and I used to talk with Mr. Cameron. I got a chance to have, a few significant conversations with him.
Yeah.
But the museum was absolutely was something that was it was fascinating.
Yeah.
The memorabilia, the artifacts, the information that he had. I don't know if they're going to still have that same information that James Cameron had. I don't know if they're going to still have those same artifacts. I will hope that they do.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's what it's going to consist of. So it'll be interesting to get a chance to visit the Holocaust Museum and just see if it's really still bringing forth the same levels of information that Mr. Cameron used to present when he was alive.
Okay.
But I think $10 million is a significant investment.
Yes.
I would love to know more about who's in control of the Black Holocaust Museum right now, because I would hope that it's not white people.
No.
But I bet you it is.
I'm praying that it's not,
I would bet you it is.
I'm hoping not.
Anyways, I really like to see who's the owner and who's in control of the Black Holocaust Museum. Who's their board? So when you got $10 million, there's not many Black people who are going to come forth and give $10 million. Usually that's coming from some white organization. And when white organizations are investing into Black organizations, they have some type of influence and direction in which the information is being presented.
Ooh.
So that's just that would be my probably somewhat of a concern.
Okay.
But again, until we get in there and we get a chance to see what's going on and have the experience, it's really not much that I can say about it until I have the new experience where I can give a real opinion.
Okay.
But I think, again, the importance of carrying on his legacy. I forgot who I was talking to, but someone had mentioned to me that we need to take the memorabilia that Dr. Carter has, and it needs to be a part of the Black Museum, the Black Holocaust Museum.
Really?
One of the Black museums as well.
That would be cool.
Was pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know if Dr. Carter's memorabilia should be a part of the Holocaust Museum, but definitely the Historical Society.
That would be really good.
Definitely the Historical Society.
Now, how is Mr. What's his name, Mr. Benson? How is he doing? Have you heard from him? From the Wisconsin?
I'm not mistaken.
How is
if I'm not mistaken, Sister Soraya, he is a part of what's going on with the Holocaust Museum.
Okay.
I think I did hear that.
Okay.
And I would not be surprised. I mean, of course, he is, as far as I know, Milwaukee's longest standing historian.
Yes. Okay.
So
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. It probably would be a good idea to try to get an interview with him soon.
Yes. I had not heard from him since we interviewed him last.
Because he is definitely being busy, you know.
Yes, because I know his daughter was had taken over.
Jamila.
Yes.
Yeah. Jamila.
Yeah.
So now that COVID over with, I'm sure I'm expecting that our community is going to open up tremendously. We'll be seeing a lot more of everybody because COVID is over with next month.
Tomorrow.
Now that everybody that took the shot or didn't take the shot and all of that, and hey, tomorrow y'all COVID over with.
Now people gonna be dying like flies.
Ain't y'all happy?
They're gonna be dropping like flies.
Why would you say that?
I'm just being honest.
So why do you predict that people are gonna be dropping like
I'm just
flies?
Predicting.
You just predicting death.
It's reality.
You predicting death though. Right?
I'm just saying we need to continue to wear these
all
masks.
That faith.
I have
all that faithfulness.
I'm just saying.
What happened to all that faithfulness? Now you believe in.
I'm just saying.
Now man got control.
No, God is in control.
Okay, well, speak it into existence.
I'm just saying.
The power of the tongue, the word.
You don't even know the word. You don't even know the word.
You choose your words wisely.
You don't even know the word. Hush.
Death on the people.
I'm not. I think we need to wear these masks.
When you was wearing a mask, did you catch COVID?
Don't ask me that question.
But I think that again, when it comes to the mask thing, right?
God. I know, and
I think that so many. I think that it's like been programmed into people that you're just gonna see people naturally still wearing masks, but it was a whole bunch of people that wasn't wearing masks in the first place.
Yeah, it was just. I mean,
I was one of them. I wasn't wearing no mask, but when I go into a place that require me to wear a mask, I wear a mask. But I wasn't just riding around with no mask.
I mean, because I'm not sure if you know, even in Chicago. They make you you have to show your vaccination card.
See, I ain't with all that.
You can't enter into a restaurant unless you show that you've been vaccinated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the
and you wait a minute, you go to Chicago a lot, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't have to have no vaccination card.
Well, you don't go to.
Well, I haven't been in a while.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I've really been.
Well, the restaurants require you to show your vaccination card.
Yeah, you be in all the restaurants, don't you? I'm just saying, like,
no,
how many times you have to show your card everywhere you go? Here go my card. Here go my card. Here go my card. I'm vaccinated.
No, I don't. I can't.
Give me them pork chops. I'm vaccinated.
You got jokes?
Let me get them red beans and rice. I'm vaccinated.
For the record, I don't.
Give me that chicken leg.
I don't eat red beans and rice.
Give me that double cheeseburger. I'm vaccinated.
And I'm glad I don't go with you because you can't afford.
No.
You can't afford me. How about that?
No, I can't nobody afford all that. I ain't the only one.
Speaking of that, I have to get a new vaccination card because when my car was broken into, they took my wallet.
They stole your vaccination card.
So my vaccination card was in my wallet. So I have to get another vaccination card.
Oh, you have to have a vaccination card for Popeyes fried chicken.
I don't eat Popeyes. I don't want to use it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I quit. I'm sorry.
All right, y'all.
But I don't have a vaccination.
Of course you don't.
You know.
And there's a fella to make one up. You doing that right? You can't make one up. You can't make one up. And I'm not making one for you. Higher Dimension Graphic Design and Print do not make vaccination cards. That's one thing we do not do. No, we don't.
Anyways, but I'm fine with going home and cooking.
Yes. All right.
My food.
Mm-hmm.
You can't cook. That's why you always
Stay out my business. Stay out my business. All right, y'all. Jennifer Hudson is in the news.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
Jennifer Hudson?
She was named Entertainer of the Year at the 53rd Annual NAACP Image Awards.
Wow. How was she named Entertainer of the Year?
Oh, well, she was.
I'm just wondering, like, what has she done lately over the last year?
Well, you know, she played the Idol, or Aretha Franklin.
Did you see that?
You know what? No. I have yet to see it.
I didn't see it either.
I have yet to see it.
I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, but I have yet to see it. You know, the film Respect.
Yeah. But I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't hear any reviews.
I heard good ratings about that. She did a good job. Some people said
I didn't hear anything
she did okay. Some people said she did very well. Some people said it's all right. But
there wasn't no Academy Awards or nothing like that.
Yes.
Oscars. Well, whatever. Not that those things are the end all of people's achievement, but I literally didn't hear anything about.
Yes.
Because I was all excited about it, and then it just like disappeared.
Yes. So after Hudson accepted the award Saturday night, the singer-actor thanked the NAACP for inspiring. She said, "Little girls like me." She beat out Regina King, Lil Nas, Megan Thee Stallion, and Tiffany Haddish.
Come on.
Yes.
What awards was this?
In the NAACP.
In the NAACP, they had the nominees for the NAACP award.
Yes,
was Lil Nas. Who was
Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X.
Who was Lil Nas X?
I don't know.
I know.
I know you know.
So he's
a rapper, right?
No.
He's a singer? I don't listen to secular.
He's the homosexual rapper that pushes the homosexual agenda and all his music. He the one who made the video where he slid down the pole to hell and gave the devil a lap dance and then had like sex with the devil in hell.
No, I didn't know that. No.
That was his video. He went from heaven. He fell from heaven and rode a stripper pole down to hell. And when he got to hell, he gave the devil a lap dance and then started doing all this like sexually explicit dancing. And like, he acted like he was having sex with the devil in hell. And then at the end of the video,
that's terrible.
He did all the sexual gestures with the devil. Then he killed the devil and put the devil horns on his head.
My God.
That's Lil Nas.
I need to edit that out.
Look, that's Lil Nas X, right?
And he was
You know who Megan Thee Stallion is?
I heard of her.
She a savage.
I heard of her, and I know Tiffany Haddish, and I love Regina King.
Savage.
I love Regina King.
Okay,
I love her.
Megan Thee Stallion is a savage.
Yes.
Rap about.
I heard of her.
Stripping and doing sexual things with men.
Yeah.
And she rap about being a street woman.
You don't have to give descriptions. You don't have to give descriptions about everybody.
Right?
Okay. All right.
Strippers.
Okay.
And she be butt naked almost on every video. And she be popping her butt all the time. And she called Megan Thee Stallion because she this real thick girl. And every time you see her, you just see her twerking. That's what they be doing. She like the twerk queen. You know you imagine there's a big black butt just bouncing around all the time.
Dennis.
No clothes on. So you got Lil Nas X, Megan Thee Stallion, and who else was on there?
Regina King and Tiffany Tiffany Haddish and Regina King.
Tiffany Haddish
and Regina King. Yes.
And then this young lady, what's her name? Who won?
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Do you want to finish the description?
Well, Regina King, I really love Regina King.
Absolutely.
I think she has had a stellar career.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Every time I've ever seen her, I've only seen her
she's
in
amazing.
roles of integrity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's just been a phenomenal actress, and entertainer that we grew up with since what, 227?
227. There is no place like home. Let me say, hold on. When your family's around, you are never alone. You know anymore. You know anymore.
Go ahead. Go. You got it. I ain't gonna even hate on you.
I'm trying to think of the theme song. That was my show, though. I like that show.
I just love 227.
Yeah. Like you kind of favorite Calvin. He looks better than you.
Favorite Calvin.
Yeah. That was the show.
But again, that show was always I always like good, clean
shows.
You know, and I always had a positive message.
Yes.
That's what we was growing up with. TV shows that have morals and values.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the images that we watching on TV, they wasn't black dudes sliding down stripper poles from heaven to hell.
Oh my God.
So I really appreciate Regina King's career, and I can see where she would be a person that would definitely be nominated.
Right.
And, I'm not a Tiffany Haddish fan.
Now this is the female comedian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You like her comedy?
She's okay. I never kind of followed her, but when I
obviously you haven't.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm just saying that if you heard her comedy, you would have an opinion of it. You know?
I watched her on a she played with Kevin Hart on I forgot the name of that movie. She was okay.
Right.
She was okay. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say this about Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, she was alright.
I'm not a Tiffany Haddish fan.
Okay.
She is absolutely not funny to me.
Okay.
I just don't care for her comedy.
Right.
I don't see her as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she has been. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
She is very successful. She has become very successful at what she does. And there's a lot of people who love her worldwide. So her talent has, she to some people she have talent, and she's definitely prospered from those who believe in her talent. Okay. And she's been very successful at being a comedian. To me personally, I do not like Tiffany Haddish's. Okay. And it's not to say anything bad. It's just not my flavor. I don't like her. Okay. I don't like her comedy. Okay. Or her personality. Okay. But I'm glad that she's successful. I'm glad that she's being nominated, and she is doing a lot of great things from what I hear and from the things that I see. Okay. When I do keep up with the news, entertainment news, I see her everywhere doing everything. I just saw her coming from Africa. They named a city after her or something. She's investing in Africa. Oh, that's what's up. Eritrea. Okay. I think I know the last thing I heard, she just got pulled over for drunk driving. Yes, I did hear about that. Yeah, I'm not one to complain. I've been there, done that. I have my drunk driving day. Yeah, has your day. Trying to condemn her. Yes, I did hear about that. Yeah, she did. Yeah. That was the last thing I heard about her. But again, she's very successful. So you have to take your hat off to anybody who tip your hat to the success. For sure. Jennifer Hudson, of course, is always been phenomenal. Yes, always she has. Been stellar. Since American Idol. One thing I do like about Jennifer Hudson is she keeps herself she carries herself with an integrity. And let's just start from the beginning. She's thrived through a lot with losing her mother and her sister and her brother. Yeah, she's thrived. She lost her sister too. I think was it her sister that died, or is it her mother and her brother? Her brother. I don't know. It may be. Okay. But I know she did have a very tragic occurrence. Yes, she did. Where her mother and brother and possibly sister were killed by her boyfriend. Yes. Or some guy. Yeah. But from the beginning, she as a young woman, she's carried herself with the utmost respect. Yes, she did. And she's been in some major roles. Like you said, since American Idol, you've never heard anything bad about her. You've never seen her compromised in any kind of negative way. No. And again, I didn't get a chance to see Aretha Franklin, the film. But I did want to see it, but it just disappeared. Yeah, it did. So I'm gonna go back and probably try to do some Netflix and check that out. But congratulations to her, because I've always liked Jennifer Hudson. I even liked her before she got all skinny. Yeah, and I liked her in Dreamgirls as well too. She did a phenomenal job in Dreamgirls. Yeah, I love Jennifer Hudson. And also Samuel L. Jackson received the NAACP Chairman Awards for his public service as well. So hats off to him. So you know what? I've been thinking about going to join the NAACP, right? Yes. Here in Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, the local chapter? Yeah, the local chapter. I've been thinking about it. Is Mr. Fred, what's his name? Fred Royal? Okay. I don't know who's there. We haven't heard much from the NAACP. I mean, the NAACP is really a defunct organization. It's been quiet. In my opinion, because I don't see them doing anything. And I'm not saying that they're not doing anything. Okay. But the only thing I see them doing is award shows. Because awards for what? Right.
And for who?
Like Lil Nas X and Regina King.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking
they
about
had an NAACP ball every year.
Right. But on a local level, what are they doing? That's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing nothing.
Right,
I don't see them advocating for no. I just don't see it. So I'm not saying I can't say what they're doing, what they're not doing.
Right,
but I have been considering going to just investigate. And I think that, you can't just complain about what organizations are not doing. Sometimes you may have to be a part of those organizations to help them do something. Okay. So I've been considering going to check them out personally, but but the one thing that I didn't like, I had went to the NAACP ball one year. Okay. Where they had held a conference here, right? The NAACP, I think it was a national conference. They held it in Milwaukee, and I went. And I was going through their program booklet, and I was looking at their board members. They had all these white people, right? And then the first name that I saw was this would really turn me off, right? The first name that I saw that was one of their chair people, his name was Willie Lynch. I'm for real. I was like, oh God. And I looked at it like 10 times. I was like, why would somebody named Willie Lynch be like a chairperson or like, you know what I'm saying, a higher up in the, me, I always, I'm over analytical. So I'm looking at the board of directors, the investors, the people. I'm looking at all the people that make up the board. And I'm like, Willie Lynch. Like, this doesn't sound right. But anyways, but I am thinking about going to investigate the NAACP.
Did you get a chance to meet him at least?
No, I didn't meet him. He was in the program book. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I just thought it was interesting. Willie Lynch, a man named Willie Lynch, was like on the board. Wow.
Oh, wow.
But anyway.
All right. In other news, Dennis, I got another story here about children. Children. Yeah. These kids. Bad kids. I hate to say bad kids. But these some bad kids. Okay. Remember you called those kids we was at the other station?
Oh, they were so mad at me.
You call them kids. You can't call them nappy head kids. Well, these are some bad children. These some children in Atlanta traveling together on scooters. And I have the video here, so I'm gonna show you all the video. Traveling together on scooters are toting guns. They have guns in their backpacks, robbing people. Okay. Yeah, robbing people, and they are recorded here. And they doing apparent car break-ins, robbing people in broad daylight. Okay. I'm gonna try to pull the video up.
Let me tell you, pull the video up. Let me tell you something about. First of all, we shouldn't acknowledge our children as kids.
Children, right?
Right. Because a kid is a baby goat.
Okay, so unruly baby children. Goat. Right. Because you know what, and because we call them kids, that's how they've taken on the personality of right. And let me say this:
something that they're not.
And even in the Bible, you don't see kids in the Bible.
No, you see children.
It's children.
Right.
So I don't know where they get kids from.
A kid is a goat. It's a baby.
Right. So why people start calling their children kids? These are my kids. What kids come from?
Yeah. Baby goat. Bad goats.
Oh, bad goats. So you got some bad goats? Come here, goat. Come here, you goat. Let me give my goat some milk. Right. No, that's not cool.
So,
oh my God.
Okay, and so I try to be conscious of that. Yeah. I try to be like, okay, my children.
Your children, that's right. Children, obey your parents in the Lord.
Let me tell you what my mama used to tell me.
What's your mom used to tell you?
My mama told me, children, in order to be a child, you got to stay in a child's place. When you step outside of being a child and doing what children do, you are no longer a child.
Very true.
A child and being children is based upon your actions and your ways. Children eat milk and cookies. Children do homework. Children, go to recitals and, band practice, and jump rope and play basketball.
Play hopscotch and all of that. Yeah.
Children go to bed at a decent time in the night and get tucked into the bed with their parents.
What kids do? What goats do?
Shoot and kill.
What goats do?
Kids terrorize your community.
Well, I'm about to show you what kids do.
But again, you only a child when you stay at a child's place.
That's the truth.
You step outside, as soon as you step outside of a child's place, you start picking up guns and you start doing crime. You're no longer a child.
Let me play this video. Gotta play this video. It's crazy.
Fox 6 News is sponsored by your local Chevy dealer. It's Milwaukee Auto
Let me see.
The Chevy lineup and stop by your local dealer. Very well qualified buyers get 0% financing.
Man, we ain't getting paid for that.
No.
Here
you go.
Well, it is a public safety issue we first spoke about yesterday. Children using scooters to commit crimes, not only carry guns, but some have shown a willingness to shoot. It's happening in Atlanta. We have looked at video of one.
That's my old neighborhood in Atlanta. That's Oakland City.
Tries to prevent a car break-in. Fox 5 States has the exclusive story.
I used to live there.
Really?
On Wednesday, we told you about a group using these scooters operating in the nighttime hours. Late at night, children as young as 12. Now we're hearing that also there's another group that is striking in the daylight hours.
That's Oakland City.
Wow. In the middle of the day.
Kids firing their weapons startled the Grant Park community, says their city councilman.
Were riding around, casing out the neighborhood on scooters, and they were caught basically by a group of contractors as they were committing a larceny.
I know exactly where they are.
When the workers came to confront the teens, they in tails started shooting at the contractors.
No one was hit, thankfully, but police and neighbors need to be aware of what's in some of those backpacks that are visible by day, but harder to see at night when some of the children as young as 12 have been out and committing crimes. Some of those crimes by force.
Some are just knuckleheads. Some have even done some attempted robberies or robberies.
Jason Winston represents the Grant Park community and surrounding neighborhoods. His district encompasses 2 police zones that are dealing with scooter criminals.
I heard from both by Zone 6 and Zone 3 majors that some of the kids are actually going on the devices. They're paying with apps such as Cash App that won't require them to be able to verify their age. That's how they're circumventing the age verification process. And so I just want to make sure we strengthen that.
Atlanta police tell Fox 5 they have made some arrests of 15 and 16-year-olds on car break-in counts. The councilman has drafted some new legislation on the scooters.
Anyone under the age of 16 would not be able to rent one of the devices unless they were under parental guidance at the time.
Councilman Winston says if successful, this legislation would mirror what's already in the books at the state level. From Northeast Atlanta, I'm Forrest Diggs, Fox 5 News.
That was your old hood, huh?
Yeah, that was my old hood, Zone 6. But
did you recognize that right away?
Yeah. I used to live in Atlanta for like almost 40 years.
Amazing! OMG! Wow!
But, let's talk about that a little bit.
Wow! Yeah.
So, what do you think they ride around here doing on the scooters? The exact same thing.
That is crazy.
And these, I'm gonna give them respect.
Children / kids, honestly,
are out of control.
Yes.
But like I said, now, I don't care if you're 11 years old. If you run up on me with a gun and you're trying to rob me or my mama, you're probably going to get something going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it diplomatic.
And they're putting their lives.
I'm not going to look at you as though, I don't care if you're 10, 9. If you run up on my mama with a gun, like you saw that one little boy do a couple weeks ago, robbed a lady in her driveway with her daughter.
Yes.
And you know, he skipped up like a little kid with a gun and put the gun up to the. You saw that?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, well, I think you did. Well, I don't know where I was watching that.
Okay.
But you're only a child when you stay in a child's place.
That's right.
And when you step outside of being a child and you start to do criminal acts, you're no longer considered a child. So whatever happens to you, when you see one of these little kids get their head blew off because they running up on people robbing them.
That's ridiculous.
Look, it's just a sad situation.
It is, yeah.
But it's like, do you allow a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old to kill you because they so little? Oh, it's just a kid, it's just a child.
How did this happen?
This child running up on you with a pistol.
Right.
This child is running up on you, uneducated, ignorant, uninformed, with a gun, and could attempt, and in any moment could take your life. At that time, when you walked up on me, you're no longer a child. Now you're a threat. And when it comes to defending ourselves,
you have every right to.
You got every right to defend yourself.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate. It's sad.
It's very sad.
But the reason why we sit here, I do believe that how can you not hold parents accountable to? How can you not hold parents accountable for the actions of their child? I think that's a big problem because a lot of these parents, now don't get me wrong, you got some parents that are doing everything they can and their children are just still disobeying them, right? But at the same time, if you know your child is just this wild child that has the potential to go out and kill or hurt somebody, then you need to be doing something to get this child some help. And you need to show that you have been actively pursuing getting this child some help. You need to get this child committed somewhere to a resource center or juvenile detention center. You need to show that you've been actively taking steps to make sure that you've done everything you can to prevent your child from being a criminal in our community. Well, these people just sit here allowing their 9 and 10, 11-year-olds, 13-year-olds to just run wild and victimize people. Man, it's no way you're going to be able to get that under control if you don't hold the parents accountable.
Absolutely. I know at one point, even here in the state of Wisconsin, wasn't they were penalizing the parents?
Yeah, a lot of people was complaining about that. Or people had issues saying that it's unfair to hold parents accountable for what their children do.
No.
And I think that it's a case-by-case situation.
Yes.
If you got a child that's a 10-time felon and he's 13 years old,
yes,
you know this child is just raising havoc. You need to do something there needs to be a place.
Right.
This is what I think. I think that we need, remember they were proposing that we move the detention center, Ethan Allen, and they were talking about bringing it into the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need to do that. I think we need to build like a massive detention facility for young people.
And that was my next story.
Go ahead, talk about that.
Yes, that was my next.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, that was my next story. How the state assembly unanimously approved a bill last Thursday that will fund a new youth prison to replace the state's trouble facility in northern Wisconsin after Republican hopeful urged lawmakers to finally take action after years of delays. So the legislation would allow the state to borrow $42 million for building a new youth prison in Milwaukee County. The bill doesn't specify a location, but would make construction contingent upon approval from local government officials in whatever jurisdiction ultimately hosts the facility. The existing facility in Irma would be converted to an adult institution. The Assembly passed the measure late Thursday evening. The Senate passed the bill Tuesday, but didn't include the local government site approval or the language converting the existing prison to an adult facility. That means the Senate will have to take up the bill again to approve those changes.
Okay.
So
they have just approved.
Yep.
that we are going to have a new youth
prison. They haven't decided the location.
Okay.
They didn't specify the location yet, but yeah.
And is it going to be in the city of Milwaukee?
In Milwaukee County. Mm-hmm.
And I think they should.
Yeah.
They should. So so the other day we was riding down the street. I was riding down the street with one of my friends,
mm-hmm.
and they was like, "Man, it's a shame they got this prison over here, right?" And we was looking at the the women's correctional facility on Keith. What's that on Keith?
In Atkinson?
Keith.
Yes.
Keith and Atkinson over there.
Yes. Yes.
And you have Filmer's Chinese right up the street.
28th and Fun
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like, man, they got prison right in the smack dab.
Right in the city.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, one thing that I think is that even though you got these are prisons, right? Whose people are most of these prisons filled up with?
But are they considered prisons?
Yes.
They are considered
Yes.
prison?
Yes. They are prisons.
They're not halfway?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they are correctional facilities.
Really?
They got people in there that's doing 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. They're minimum security prisons.
They're not on their way home prisons.
No, they're minimum security prisons.
Okay.
So you go from maximum security
To minimum.
medium security to minimum security.
Okay.
Now, you can be in a minimum security prison and still have a lot of time. It's just that you're not a threat.
Okay.
You behaved a certain way, so you're not under the extreme
Okay.
conditions of a maximum security or minimum or medium security.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to be on good behavior and work your way down to a minimum.
Right.
So a minimum, you have more freedom.
Right.
Based upon your behavior.
That's right. Okay.
So these are minimum security correctional facilities. Maximum security correctional facilities, your Green Bay,
right, Stanley,
your Walpon,
right, mm-hmm.
The big prisons.
Right.
Those are maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Or what was I forgot the supermax that they got around here.
Like up north, like far up north.
Yeah,
somewhere?
I forgot.
Is that Stanley Correctional Center?
Oh man, I can't remember, but we got a supermax around here too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Supermax is where for the worst of the worst offenders. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you have minimum security facilities, minimum security correctional facilities that are strategically within the inner city. Now, a lot of people are like, man, you shouldn't bring no prisons into the city, or why would they have these jails over here? Oh, that's a bad thing. But in most of these jails, it's black people.
Mm-hmm. That's
Unfortunately,
correct.
It's black people.
Yeah, yeah.
We know that black people are disproportionately or, totally disadvantaged and disproportionately affected by incarceration. So you got a lot of people that's in jail for something they shouldn't be in jail for, or they getting way more time
Than what they should.
than they should.
That's right.
So many of our people are victimized by the judicial system or by the so-called justice system or by the correctional system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody auntie, somebody grandmother, somebody mother, somebody's sister, somebody niece, they're in the woman's correctional facility.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody uncle, somebody daddy, somebody granddaddy, somebody brother, somebody friend. They're in the correctional facilities for men. These are our people, right? So what do they do with our people when they incarcerate them? And when we talk about the prison industrial complex, what they do is they go and create these prisons in these rural communities, right? Or in these white communities, and they build this massive prison, and the cost to construct the prison, it creates jobs for the people who are in those communities, which are 99.9% white, right? The people who are employed, it creates employment for people in those rural communities, which is 99.9% white. It creates jobs. The prisons create a whole economy, right? So many times our people are being farmed out into these different communities purely for the economic impact and the economic value that's going to be sustained by them building a correctional facility, and then all the jobs and the resources that are going to come into those facilities, right? For people to be able to benefit from.
Okay.
And we know that we have an issue with crime in our community, so you're going to have adequate facilities to address the criminal element that exists in our community, or the injustice of when it comes to the criminal element of people being disproportionately affected and having to be incarcerated. Why wouldn't we? We should, if we're going to build a correctional facility, we should build it in our community, somewhere where we have access to our people, to where those facilities are going to create jobs for the people in the immediate area, where Black people can start to see more Black people, and we can have access to our people instead of having to travel all the way up to Wall Pond or travel all the way up to Green Bay.
Right.
You know, your people got all this time and they're gonna have to come home soon, but no, there's no access to them.
Okay.
We should be, if these correctional facilities are going to exist, we should be taking control of them. We should be staffing those facilities. We should be the correctional guards in those facilities.
Mm-hmm.
We should be providing all of the classes and the resources and the education in those facilities. We should be building those facilities, you know, and we should be the ones who are having direct access to our people, so that when they come home, they have a better chance of being able to survive when they re-enter into the community. Not shipping away out into some rural county where there's a bunch of white people who's governing over them, treating them any kind of way, and then you got your people in jail because they doing 5, 10, 15 years. You just forget about it, and you don't know how they being victimized. You know how many people go to jail for absolutely nothing every day?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, there is an element of crime in our community that needs to be addressed, where you need to be punished, and you got some sick individuals out here who need to be thrown. You need to lock the door up and throw away the key. But for the majority of our people are redeemable. People do want to come out and get their life on track. But if you keep creating this space and this distance between people who are re-entering the community, if we don't have closer access to our brothers and sisters that are incarcerated, then it's going to be harder for them. So I think that this youth facility should be built somewhere that's in the city, where where the mothers can have access to their children,
right,
where the fathers can have access to their children, to the mentors and the resources can be immersed amongst these children. This facility should be staffed with people who look like these young children who are committing these crimes.
But in terms of them being able to distinguish because even with the detention center out on Watertown Plankerton, that is also they utilize that as well too.
They do.
The detention center out there as well too, before shipping them out to Lincoln, Ethan Allen or Lincoln, Lincoln Hills.
Lincoln Hills,
yeah,
all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so again, my only point is that if our children are being incarcerated at the rate that they are, and they're the level of incarceration is providing a resource to communities based upon the injustice or incarceration, or the unfairness or imbalance within the correctional system. If these communities are going to be benefiting from that, we should be making sure that our community is benefiting from that. $42 million worth of development should be going on in the inner city, and we should be rooting for them to bring that facility into the heart of our community so that we can get to our children. Why would you want your children 2-3 hours away in a rural community where we can't get to them, and now they up there going through all kind of stuff, and then when they come back into our community, they come back all more worse than what they was. They come back savage because their aunties ain't been able to visit them, their mothers ain't been able to visit them, their fathers ain't been able to visit them, their grandmothers ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that if there's going to be any type of value or economic value that comes out of $42 million worth of development, for a youth facility for our children, it should be built in our community, and we should be building it, and we should be staffing it. But then also, I think that is needed because when you have our children that are so out of control, parents need to be able to take their children and say, look, this boy is out of control right here. He's shooting people. He killing people. He robbing people. Yeah. He ain't going to school. I need help. And I need to commit him to this facility until he get his mind right. And they need to be able to have Black men and Black women who can
and then have some sort of
skill set to be able to take care of those children and help them children reinvent themselves,
right.
restructure themselves, put programming around those children.
Right.
But don't just let your child be a tyrant out here in the community.
Yes.
And when it comes down to it, when a child has committed a crime, they need to be able to look at a log and see what did this parent do? What did the steps that this parent do to try to make sure that this child got help?
Yeah.
If your child just been a wild criminal and you haven't done anything,
yeah, there you
try
go.
to get them help.
Then there's your answer.
Then you need to be held accountable for
there
that
you go.
as well.
Yeah.
But if you have shown that you've done everything you can to try to help your child, then of course, we need to make sure that we take that into full consideration.
Very true.
But some of these parents, they know their children is criminals. They encourage their children criminal behavior.
They know they
unleash their children out here into the streets and let them be wild and crazy. And people are being victimized. And those parents, I don't care how old or how young they are, they need to be held accountable for that.
For sure.
Because you know your child is a wild, out of control kid who's shooting at people.
There you go. I was going to say
all kind of crazy
stuff. I was
going to
say kids. They know they kids.
And I have children. I have my own children. I don't want my child being victimized by some unruly child because this parent didn't take responsibility for their own child and they knew their child was misbehaving and harming people and terrorizing people, but they just let it go on freely, And now my neighbor child that died or one of my relatives did, or my child is harmed because you didn't be responsible for your child. So I think it just needs to be a level of more accountability. And if we're going to build these youth facilities or these juvenile detention centers, we need to be in control of them, and we need to be building them, and we need to be staffing them, and we need to be providing the resources and the contracts that go into these facilities to make sure that it's benefiting us overall.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, it's coming to Milwaukee County, so we'll definitely see what happens and keep an eye out on it. So, and hopefully they won't be as full.
I mean,
look. Praying that it won't be as full, right? I mean, I get it.
All the children that dropped out of school.
I know, Dennis, but
because of COVID.
And I know the reality of it. I know the reality of it.
All the children are totally disconnected.
Praying, let's keep our young men and young girls out of there.
Let's talk about this. When they get there, what are we gonna do? Because it could be a great opportunity for us to be able to communicate with them.
Praying that it just don't happen.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen. Because you got to look at the trend, you got to be reality. You got to look at the reality. That's why they build the facility, because there's not enough room for the level of crime that's being committed. You see, they riding around on scooters shooting people.
I get it. We're gonna pray.
No,
and
we're gonna
hope.
Have to work. Pray
and work that we keep our
absolutely.
We don't want them. We don't want them to be dead, and we don't want them to be in jail.
You don't want them to
keep them out. Keep them out.
What are you going to do to prevent it from happening? What is the solution to the problem?
That's right, that's why we're going to work hard.
Okay, and that's all I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that if they build these type of facilities, these facilities do need to be built in our community so that we can have direct access to our children. If we don't correct the problem, you can't expect to send your children out to white prison guards and white psychologists, your black child to white correctional facilities.
Yeah,
we don't expect that that's going to improve them and turn them into productive citizens.
Yeah, I understand that, Dennis. I know we don't want that.
Right.
But what we don't want them there at all.
I agree, but they are there.
Right. I'm saying when this comes is what I'm saying.
No, but when this comes, they're gonna transfer the ones that's already in the other facilities to that facility.
Right. So
I'm saying they're already there.
Okay.
And if they're already there, we have to be prepared to go take control of those facilities.
Right.
That's my point.
Okay.
And then I'm also saying that for these parents out here whose children are out of control
now, right?
They need to be able to commit their child to a place where this child can get help. Don't just let your child go out here and commit 2 or 3 homicides or aggravated assaults or thefts or vandalize. And you know that this child is going out stealing, robbing, and killing, and you allowing it, you encouraging it.
Take control of them now.
Take control of it now. Let's put infrastructure in place so that when these parents need help, they can have a place to send their child if they can't control their child.
Okay.
But if the parents have not taken the proper steps to get their child some help, then they need to go to jail too.
And they need to get some help.
I'm just saying, man. All right, I'm sorry.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. All right, so with that being said, even if you still have to travel far, now the Wisconsin prisons will allow in-person visits again, beginning on tomorrow. Now that COVID-19, would you stop saying it like that? Since COVID-19 cases are continuing to decline, beginning tomorrow, March 1st, you can now go and visit your loved ones. Right. And what?
COVID over with. We done went through all this. Now they just like, no COVID over with.
Yes.
Man, come on. The virus has not just disappeared like that.
All right. So, start tomorrow.
So now you can go back and start to the prisons and visit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man.
Starting tomorrow.
We're going to have to do something. We're going to have to do better, y'all.
All right.
COVID over with. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. COVID is over with. It's over with tomorrow.
Dude, we done went through 2 years of them just killing people. Then they just gonna be like, tomorrow's over with.
2 years of wrecking my brain.
Dude, first we had to stay in the house for the whole year.
Yeah.
Then we came out and went into protest.
Yeah.
In the heat, in the climax of the pandemic,
yeah.
we go into millions of people protesting about George Floyd.
Yeah.
Then we just had the Omicron last month.
Mm-hmm.
And now COVID over with.
Now it's over.
Now you don't gotta, it ain't gonna be no more talking about mandating vaccinations, none of that. It's just gonna have a steady decline.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about this before we what time is it?
It is 2:09 p.m.
So Soraya, what do you think about the fact that the world is at war right now?
Yeah, I have a lot of mixed emotions about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a lot of mixed emotions about it. Yeah. Because
so do you know who's at war?
Yes, I do.
Who's at war?
Russia and Ukrainian. Okay, you don't have to treat me like I'm in history class.
Good job, Soraya.
You don't have to do me like that. You really don't.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just happy that you are paying attention.
But you have no choice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you may wake up tomorrow, your account may be, like cleared out.
So what that got to do with the war?
Your stock, what was your stock market crash? Yeah. Maybe, it's just, it's just,
right.
It's just, everything's just all over the place.
It affects so many different things.
And it can, and it will.
So to your point,
yeah,
it is something that, a lot of times we like, well, what it got to do with us? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it has a lot to do with us.
That's Ukraine. That's
it has
Russia.
a lot. It has a lot to do.
That ain't got nothing to do with our business. Mm-hmm. But if you understand world politics, anything that happens in one part of the world affects another part of the world.
Ukraine. You know what I meant. That's why I say I have a lot of mixed emotions. Ukrainian. Ukraine. You know what I meant. Ukraine. What I say? Ukrainian. 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 Ukraine. Like,
oh my god!
I put an M on it. I put an M on the end on the end of it. Ukraine, Ukraine. Like, that's how you know I got a lot of mixed emotions, because I done said it so many times. Like, Lord, strengthen us all. Like, it's something. It's like.
Look, Ukrainian.
I done gave the country a new name.
A new brain.
Right.
Ukrainian. Anyway, so again, if you understand world politics, you know that different things that happen in the world affect the entire world.
Yes, it does.
China released the virus accidentally, the whole world got affected by it, right? So there's an aspect of global politics that exists.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level of global
Shoemaker.
politics. There's a level of global politics that exists that we have to be in tune to. So with the war with Ukraine and Russia, Ukraine and Russia.
Right.
I've been watching it. I've been paying attention to it. Like I've been watching it all weekend, and it's like, whoa, like here we are, and so it's setting off a chain of events, right?
Yes.
That first of all, it's going to affect the global economy because Russia is the world purchases gas and oil from Russia. But because Russia has separated itself from NATO and it's not a part of the global alliance of countries, Russia's going renegade. Like, no, I ain't doing what y'all say. I'm doing what I want to do.
Right.
But Russia is a part of the global economy when it comes to oil and gas. So by Russia invading Ukraine, what's happening is that now NATO in the global economy or the global order of things are saying, we're putting sanctions on you to where you can't participate in the global economy. So by us putting sanctions on you, we're cutting off all of your resources. We're not letting you sell your oil,
goods,
gas,
nothing.
Your goods, nothing.
Wow.
So what that does is that upsets the whole global economy.
Right.
So now with the United States putting more and more sanctions on them, then that means that the resource that Russia is to the world, they're cutting them off from having access to being that resource. So what that's going to do is make prices of things go higher over the world. So it's going to drive inflation up higher and higher.
Right.
Like you said, it's also with the world being in turmoil, it disrupts the stock market.
Absolutely.
So the stock market is tanking, it's crashing.
It's crashing, right.
Gas and oil going up. Your gas is about to be $4.50.
It's already going up. I was in Chicago the other day. It's already over $4.
My point.
It's already over $4. Yeah.
The gas gonna be $4, $5.
Absolutely.
So all of this it affects us all in some kind of way. Then like Russia is also one of the biggest producers of wheat, right?
Yeah.
So now your loaf of bread is going to be $5.
Yes.
So this war disrupts the entire community.
Why do you have to say my loaf of bread?
Okay. A loaf of bread.
I'm tired of you and your review.
A loaf of bread is going to be $5.
I got you. Go ahead.
So the war, what's happening in that part of the world affects the entire world. And you're going to see, again, our prices are going to continue to shoot up higher and higher. Remember we were talking about the price of used cars?
Yes.
How they have went just through the roof. People are complaining about that.
Yep.
Everything's going up. So, okay, remember there was a time when a loaf of bread cost a nickel, right? Back in the days.
No.
A loaf of bread.
Okay.
Things were really cheap.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Again, a loaf of bread, you could get a loaf of bread for a nickel.
Yeah.
Or a gallon of milk for a dime or a quarter or something like that.
Right.
But inflation, you can't get a gallon of milk for a quarter right now. You can't get a loaf of bread for a nickel right now. Because inflation pushed those things up higher and higher over the years to where it never went back down to being a nickel. It never went back down to being a quarter.
And it was never going back down.
What they're doing is they're driving the prices up right now.
That's right.
So where eventually your bread ain't gonna be $2 no more.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be $4.50, $5 for a loaf of bread.
Absolutely.
Your gas ain't gonna be $3.19 no more. It's gonna be $7. They're changing. They're resetting the order and inflating the prices so that things can be driven up higher. But when they go up higher, they're never going to come down to what they were previously.
Okay.
So now you're going to have to deal with these high prices moving forward because that's the new standard that's being set for what pricing is because of the inflation. So while everybody was sitting here talking about these stimulus checks, that created inflation. That's why you go be paying $5 for gas.
And that's why we said somebody's going to be paying for that stimulus check.
All of these shots, all of these
the vaccination shots.
Vaccination shots.
Yes.
Those they purchased millions and millions and millions of those shots from the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Those shots were $550 a shot, and they purchased like 10, 15, 20 million of them or more. Maybe millions, 50 million shots was purchased at $550.
Yeah, because they purchased for the world. So of course.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars. So when you go and get that booster shot or that free shot, that's not a free shot.
That's not somebody paying for that.
That's coming. That's associated to your economy.
That's right.
That's creating inflation. And all of the costs is going to be passed on at your gas pumps, at your grocery stores, at your furniture stores. Everywhere you go and try to buy something, there's going to be an increase of the cost of living. Rent is going up to like $2,000 a month. Right. So when we talk about why is it important to acknowledge or understand what's going on with the war in Ukraine and with Russia, is directly affecting us here. Right. And now Putin, and the global side of things, is gone renegade. Now you just went here. Now Ukraine used to be a part of Russia.
Right.
Right.
Now they saying it's his. It's why are they saying it's his war? It's his war
because he started the war. Nobody didn't want no war. He started the war. He took on the war unilaterally by himself. He moved on another European country to try to take that country back, right? Because Ukraine used to be a part of the Soviet Union, but what was it? It was during that last Russian war that they had, and that broke the Soviet Union down. It splintered and it made different countries break away from Russia, and Ukraine was one of them, right? So now he's like, Ukraine automatically always belonged to us anyways. Ukraine broke away from the Soviet Union and they created a democracy.
Right.
The Soviet Union is a dictatorship. It's communist. You know what I'm saying? It's like one man rules. But by them creating a democracy, that made Putin upset because he wants to be a dictator over all of the country. So by Ukraine creating a democracy, they're creating partnerships with all of the other Western countries like the United States that allow for you to have freedom and have liberty,
right?
And
that's why everyone is for Ukraine.
That's Ukrainian. Yeah. That's why everybody is for them, right? But then what it's also doing is you got to understand that the reason why Putin is doing this is because he knows that we at the weakest time, we got a weak government, and the United States ain't gonna come over there and back Ukraine. The world, he already threatened the world. Like, if y'all come over here and get my business, I'm sending off these nuclear missiles at y'all.
Absolutely.
So y'all mind your own business, and what y'all gonna have to do is y'all gonna have to sit back and watch me destroy these people and invade these people. Y'all not gonna do nothing. But the world is reacting by putting sanctions on him.
And you're right, Keisha. I don't know who Fike is either. I still don't know. Since I had my first job, I don't know who Fike is. I'm still asking that same question. You're right.
So, but also what you got to understand is that Russia is backed by China. China is the unseen force behind this that's backing Russia. So now that the Russian, it's a reason why Putin decided to move on Ukraine during the Biden presidency. Because he like,
why did he wait to the Biden administration? Why did he do that when Trump was in office?
Trump would have came right over there and started blasting at him. Trump would have mounted up and would have went over there and started blasting at him. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a fight. He know that the Biden administration is weak. He just watched how the Biden administration pulled out of Afghanistan and left $1 billion worth of resources after a 20-year fight, and then left his own people in that country.
Wow.
Right? So now, what's going to happen? The next thing that's going to happen.
Trump probably pay him to hold up.
Know.
Oh man!
But the next thing that's going to happen is that you see.
But Trump in trouble? No, ain't Trump in trouble with taxes and stuff?
But look, what you see happening is this: with the taxes and everything. So what you
that's what I just said.
What you're going to see happen is this: is that now that you see Russia moving into,
let me not pay taxes. Go ahead.
Now that you see Russia moving into action of war to take over a country, now you're about to see China do the same thing, because China wants to take back Taiwan. Taiwan is another country over there that separated from China and created a democracy and has Western American alliances and allegiance. And China wants to take Taiwan back to kill the influence of Western influence, democracy.
So then you're talking about another war.
Ukraine, so Putin hates Ukraine because the people are experiencing democracy and freedom. So it's making more people want to have that type of lifestyle opposed to the communist lifestyle that the people have in Russia. So people are envying Ukraine because they are democratic. So Putin is like, no, I got to kill that democracy over there. We got to take that back. And those people really are Russian people. So we're going to take that country back and we're going to force them to live under the rule of Putin, under Russian rule.
Under Russian rule.
But what's happening is that it's backfiring. The whole world is going against him.
Right.
But dude don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a really serious. He has a very serious arsenal of weapons over there. He could destroy that country with one nuclear bomb.
So they can attack at any given point. They
are attacking. So, but what's happening is they didn't expect the Ukrainian people to fight as hard as they is. Because Ukrainian people, they got like 200,000 people in their army. They just don't have the weapons that's as sophisticated. But not only do they have their army that's mounting up and fighting, they like we resisting at all costs. They done armed all the citizens. There's grandmothers coming out with rifles. I'm talking about old ladies coming out with rifles. All the men been drafted. You know, all the politicians, everybody just taking up arms. They just giving weapons to all of their people, and they like fight. And that's what's happening. So they're fighting them off. Where Russia thought that they were going to come in and just take over instantly. The fight of the Ukrainian people is standing up. You know, they're standing up for their country. So it hasn't been as easy as he thought it would. But they over there giving them people heck, man.
So will this affect? Because I know you mentioned like food supply and banking and stuff like that. Yeah. So would this affect like cybersecurity?
All of that
in any way? Okay.
Well, I mean, because that's part of the war strategy.
Okay.
So they're attacking each other's side. So one of the things that Russia is threatening is that if we get involved, then they're gonna launch a cyber war on us.
Wow.
Russia is threatening any country that supports Ukraine, that he's gonna attack them in various ways. And one of the ways that they're gonna try to use attacks is through cyber war, right? So my point is that we have to be concerned about how the world is becoming more and more unstable, because it's also an example of what's happening right in our own communities. It's not only just our communities that's in war. The whole world is at war right now. The whole world is being destabilized right now. This is not a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like
to be at war with each other, and we're at war.
Oh, it's just war,
in the world.
War everywhere.
Right.
Even though we do a lot of, just talking about and being frustrated and confused about the things that's happening in our community, it's happening in every community. You go right next door to Racine, Kenosha, you go to Chicago, you go to every community, something is happening.
Yeah, right.
The world is very unstable right now.
Yeah.
And there's no level of leadership that is being inspiring enough to change the course of the direction in which we're headed in. Now, do I feel like it's going to stay that way? No. I feel like there is a possibility for things to change. But I can't deny that it's going to be very, very difficult. It's very difficult to change the direction in which we're in, because everybody's mindset is just so gone. Our level of morality is gone. Our level of integrity is gone. Our level of genuineness and sincerity and care is gone. You know, and on the collective whole side of things. Now, you still have a lot of people who have those traits and still have those desires. And we're going to have to depend on that to eventually be what gets us through. Those people who are still holding on to a sense of morality and a sense of faith that things can be better. Because if we just give up our faith, it's over with. It's like, okay, it's over. And you see a lot of people giving up their hope and a lot of people giving up their faith every single day.
And that's what we need, hope and faith.
Committing suicide, killing themselves, doing all kind of stuff every single day.
Yeah.
I promise you, I promise, put my right hand to God. When I was a child, and me and my sister used to we would be at the house, we have to read the Bible. But we just read the Bible. You know, a lot of it, that's how I learned how to read. I learned how to read.
Yeah.
The Bible.
You know how to read? Okay.
Yeah, to read the Bible.
Okay.
You know, and then we'll be reading the King James Bible.
Yeah.
You know, we always get afraid when we start reading stuff in red.
Okay.
You know,
that was Jesus talking. You know that Jesus talking.
When the words turn red,
you know who was talking, Doc.
Like, oh, it's written in the blood.
You know who was talking. That's right. You know who was talking.
But then when we get through the whole Bible.
Oh yeah.
The whole Bible. And then you get to Revelations.
Yep.
And Revelations is like the most frightening book ever in the Bible, especially if you're a little kid. And we used to be talking about all this, how the world was gonna be unstable, how men was gonna be lover of men, women lover of women, how children was gonna turn against their parents.
Yes.
Revelations was talking about all this word for word, verbatim.
And it's all coming to pass. Yeah.
And when we was little kids, you know, we used to be like, man, that's gonna be 1,000,000 years from now. We ain't gonna be able to see that.
Yeah.
That's how we used to feel.
Right.
But if everything that was stated in Revelations
all
is happening right now, it's all coming to pass right now. If we in the end days.
Yeah.
These are the last days right here. It's real.
Yeah.
It is very, very real.
All
I just didn't think when I was a child that I would live to see all of this mess right here. Man.
Yeah.
It's just too bad.
Yeah.
I really, really pray and wish that the world could come into a place of peace. I really pray and wish that we could stop killing ourselves and stop hurting ourselves. You know, I really pray that the sickness and the hurt and the trauma and the pain that so many people are going through, that they will find a way to overcome it. You know, like we have to pray for peace. We have to work for peace. I think people are just becoming too comfortable with the hurt and with the pain and with the negativity of things that exist in their life.
Yeah.
You know?
Only peace we're gonna find, Dennis, is in God.
Man, I mean,
that's the only place we're gonna find peace at. That's the only peace. Well, that's the only place where we gonna find peace at.
People don't even desire peace of mind, peace of heart, or goodness anymore. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna do what it takes. And then everything is money driven. Yeah. When you're driven by money but not driven by morality, that's a big problem. Yeah. There is no moral, like, long as it's some money. Oh, give me $100,000, I'll do anything. Give me 200,000, give me $1 million. Oh, but look how much money it is. Look how much money it is. I do it. Yeah. If it's anything. Yeah. $1 million. Oh man, I kill my mama.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kill my dad. Oh, you want me to kill my daddy? Give me 500,000. Yeah. Just give me 500,000. Yeah, you're right. Literally go shoot their daddy in the head for 500,000.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, I just, again, I continue to have some type of hope, you know, and desire just for genuineness, for sincerity, for brotherhood, for loyalty, for camaraderie, for love. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't love each other no more. Nope. People don't.
That real genuine love.
Yeah, people don't have everything people doing is trying to get over, take over, cut somebody out.
And get.
Get.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody, because there's still a very, you know, there's a lot of people in our world today who do pray for peace and we got to do a better job of connecting with those individuals.
Yes.
Those peacemakers to change the narrative in our community, because the images that they keep putting out. Think about this, right? Why is our community so violent? Right? but we was raised on violence. When you cut on a channel on television, what do you see on every channel?
Yeah, violence.
You see violence. This is what you see on every channel on television today. You see violence. You see entertainment and sports. You see bad news. You see homosexuality. Like, you don't see like a whole lot of positive messaging on TV. Every channel you cut on, you're gonna see them promoting homosexuality. You know, I'm watching the basketball.
That's first and foremost.
I'm watching the basketball game. Now I'm seeing 2 women kissing, 2 men kissing. I'm seeing black and white, a black woman and a white woman in a relationship, a black man and a white man in a relationship.
Right. You can't even watch cartoons anymore.
I'm watching all of this. All of this stuff is just on regular TV, right? When I was a child, if a man and a woman kissed on TV, I had to leave the room. I had to close my eyes. Even though I cover my eyes like this, I still had to fake like they was covered. Right. I still was looking through the cracks of my fingers, like,
because you still want to see
I saw it.
Right.
You know? But it was just the fact that the act of, look, I don't want you to see anything that's right. That's sexual.
Right.
I don't want you to see anything.
You too young.
I want to protect your mind as a young person.
That's
where I don't want to. Our parents were careful to not allow to pervert us or to allow us to get into perversion
at a young age.
Sexuality. They did everything they could. Now we still went off and did How I Go Get It and everything else. But
you did.
You did too. you know you spell How I Go Get It.
I did play How I Go Seek, but I ain't do all that with it. I ain't gonna get it. What kind of game is that? Boy,
you ain't that
boy, bye. Whatever.
But even though we still would have had our exploration of things as young people, we still had a strong determination. There was still a strong effort to deter us from negativity, from sexuality, all of these things that was not healthy for us as young people. Now, today, they just push on everything. Sexual, everything is on TV. Right. Murder, everything is on TV. And even I was like, even when we were children, all of the cartoons, the main cartoons, they were violent.
Non-homosexual.
Not the cartoons are homosexual.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
wait a minute, because I know I was sitting up watching a cartoon.
Wait. Hold that thought, right? Now just think. Now we're gonna go from our era when the cartoons was G.I. Joe, He-Man,
Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons,
Casper the Friendly Ghost, the Jetsons. But then you had Looney Tunes where they was, you know, Bugs Bunny was always trying to, you know, the Road Runner was always trying to kill. The Coyote was trying to kill the Road Runner. Somebody was trying to kill Bugs Bunny all the time. The Road Runner was always dropping like a big heavy anvil on the Coyote head. Daffy Duck was getting shot in the face by a white man and he was black. Blew his whole beak off every day. Put a shotgun to his head and shoot him in the face. You know, Tom and Jerry was cutting each other's head off and blood shoot out their neck. And you know what I'm saying? Just everything was, that was the violence, right? When we was kids, we used to watch all that stuff and just laugh.
That's it.
But it was some balance. Like you said, they had the Scooby-Doo's, and the He-Mans, and the, you know, all of that stuff. Now you fast forward to every cartoon. And what is it?
I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention. And all of a sudden I heard something. I'm like, did I just hear something wait a minute, did they just say something? Wait a minute. No, they didn't say jump on my lap and do what? I said, come on, not the cartoon. No, they not. Wait a minute. What? Wait.
But even, okay, so remember, like, I used to love as a child, Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah.
And the Muppets, right?
Yeah, Big Bird.
But then something changed about Sesame Street.
What about it?
And the Muppets, right? And everything was cool with Sesame Street. I used to love Gordon and all of them, and Maria. I used to be in love with Maria.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You know, and Sesame Street was the bomb. The Count
and Cookie Monster. Oh
it was just good. It was just a good Barney and Bert
and Clint. Yes.
And then the spinoff of Sesame Street was the Muppets. You know what I'm saying? Animal was my favorite, right? And it was cool, right? But then something changed.
What changed, Dennis?
A new Sesame Street character and a new Muppet arrived.
Okay.
And it just disrupted the whole legacy of Sesame Street and the Muppets. Okay. And his name was Elmo. And Elmo was a different kind of character, right?
Just messed up.
Elmo he had a different energy about himself. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody else had a certain kind of energy. Elmo came with right? And then the inventor of Elmo was a different kind of character.
Elmo tone changed.
Yeah, but the inventor of Elmo, the black dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So it was a different messaging and a different energy that was coming through Elmo that changed the dynamic of all the other Muppets and all the other Sesame Street characters to where now you don't even watch Sesame Street no more.
No.
The dude who was the inventor of Elmo, I think he was like allegedly sleeping with children or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he was doing some type. They had to get rid of him. You know, the actual guy.
Yes.
The black guy. You know, but it was like that whole Elmo era of
that was over.
It just changed everything.
Yeah.
It was like it was not. You could just tell that it was a different programming. It was a different frequency. They were sending a different energy out. And all the characters started to seem like they was gay characters.
Oh, Barney. Oh,
Barney.
No.
Barney. And then them Teletubbies. Oh man. You know, they just start making all the cartoons, gay cartoons.
I love
gay
you.
Muppets,
you
gay
love
Sesame
me.
He just took no masculinity, no level, just everything just highly feminized.
Yeah,
then they started making all the colors like rainbow, bright colors.
Man.
Turquoise and pink.
How we get on that subject?
Everything just bright. You know what I'm saying? Bright and gay.
Oh, now who came out after that?
So.
Oh my God.
All of that stuff, but it just changed.
I lost track after that. SpongeBob. Yeah, SpongeBob.
Oh man. And it was just like it was just like nuances of perversion and all these underlying
and it went from there.
Messaging
it just went from there.
And then then the other thing where they messed up at, you gotta look at how the devil attack our children, attack our people, and attack the heart and mind and the spirit of the people. Then they start making adult cartoons. They always been making adult cartoons, but then they start to promote the adult cartoons, right? The Simpsons, right?
Yes.
Right. And then
more adults begin to love The Simpsons.
But you're talking about an adult cartoon. Children are gonna watch an adult cartoon. Anything that's a cartoon, a child gonna watch it. But you put it on TV saying it's an adult cartoon.
Yes.
So now you got all this adult subject matter in a cartoon form.
Yep.
And who's going to be the most susceptible to watch anything that's in the cartoon form? A child. Yep. So now you're introducing children to all these different adult situations in a cartoon form, and then you start to gradually grow to more and more to Family Guy.
Family Guy, Simpsons, American Dad. Yep.
Hank Hill and all of these different cartoons now that's dealing with all this graphic adult nature, but it's in a cartoon form, and children are sitting here addicted to it.
And now they cursing and everything.
Man, look, itchy and scratchy and
calling each other bees, and I'm like, it's out of control.
Cool?
It's out of control.
How is that cool?
It's out of control. Yeah.
And then we just at the point where anything
and to keep your children quiet and occupied, we sit them in front of the television or in front of
them watch the most horrible stuff ever. And all kind of messaging is, all kind of roaming around is being going through. But this is one reason that we always have to promote the importance of fathers. because they knew that if they could take the male authority out of our society and dismantle the male authority within the family structure, then you know you can infiltrate the family because that level of protection is not there anymore. We totally forget we totally take for granted the importance of masculinity, right? Because you see everything that's being promoted now, everything is feminine.
Yeah, because
there's no balance.
Yeah, because the mother, they always say, and I always disagree with the saying, the mother cannot be the mother and the father. Yeah, I could never, and
look, there's so many women that have. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry, and I'll stand corrected, but I could never agree with that saying.
I can never, me being a father, I can never agree with it either. But I done heard many a dumb.
No, Dennis, women. Don't say. Sorry, y'all.
I know many of silly women who have made that statement. I'm the mama and the daddy.
Yeah, I mean, I can never agree with
since y'all been the mama and the daddy, you didn't fail. You didn't fail at being the mama and the daddy because look at the condition of the children. I don't need no man. I'm the mama and the daddy. Well, your mama and daddy tactics have not been working.
I mean, I can see that in many instances in terms of the father not being in the home, but in terms of
I'm saying that in the purposeful,
like
in terms that
mindset, the term saying you the mother and the father. No,
that mindset.
No, but
any woman knows that she's not a father.
Yeah,
and any woman knows
that term. I don't like that term.
Any woman that's a real mother understands the importance of a responsible male being in front of a male child or in front of a child, period, daughter or a son. My point is that when they started to attack masculinity, and when they started to attack the importance of the role of the father and remove that, the man is the defense. Now you got everybody doing all this stuff with promoting women and talking about men as toxic. Well, look at this, right? Men built this country. Men built the country. Men was the ones going to war for this country. Men was the ones said, no, look, I got to protect my wife and my children at all costs. Y'all be safe. I'm going to go to war and put my life on the line so that you can have freedom and my children could grow up in a better world. It was men who was going out here getting slaughtered by the hundreds and the thousands and the millions and putting their life on the line and dying for their wife and for their children. It was men that was out here doing all the heavy lifting and building all the buildings and building railroad tracks and building buildings and, creating infrastructure for the world. It was men that was doing that and protecting women and saying, no, you be at home and you take care of the family. I'm going to go out here and do all the hard work and I'm going to bring my resources home and you can just be safe at home and I'm going to make sure I provide for you. It was men doing that.
Okay.
Right? They didn't destroy that whole concept of what it means to be a man. They didn't destroy the whole concept of what it means to be masculine. They have removed the protection of the men from most families. And when you look at the deterioration of communities, it's a direct connection to the absence of masculinity and the presence of men and fathers. Now we under just the most vicious attack ever. And especially black men, because that's a whole nother subject. But anyway.
All right. 45 minutes after the hour, 46 minutes now after the hour of 2:00 p.m. I totally agree with your point, Dennis. All right. So in other news, Dennis, not sure if you heard about in Clarksville, Tennessee, authorities in Tennessee are looking for a group of women who robbed a 78-year-old woman while she was praying in church.
I saw that. That was so bogus.
While she was praying in church, y'all.
So right, I saw that. Did you see it?
Yes.
You saw the video?
I was trying to find the video so I can show my audience.
I was like, wow. Like, now if somebody come up, man, and then you be wondering why people be getting hurt or like really tragic situations be happening.
That's so sad.
But when you done sat here and you done took these women, you sit here praying with an old lady. You sit down and your friend go pray with the lady. And then while you praying with the lady, the other chick is behind her, digging in her purse, stealing her wallet. I was like,
Clarksville police say the theft of the property happened February 9th around 6 p.m. inside the Sanctuary Hillside Baptist Church. Officers said the elderly woman was praying when two women approached her asking for prayers as well. While they were praying, a second woman, like Dennis said, a second woman went into the victim's purse and stole her credit cards, gift cards, and cash. Investigators said that the thieves then tried to use the credit cards at Sam's Club and Kroger shortly after. Surveillance then captured the incident, and then the suspects, thieves, at Sam's Club. Surveillance video captures the incidents, and then the suspected thieves at the Sam's Club.
Mm-hmm. So y'all gonna, anyways, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just talking about when I was saying that. Where's the level? That's what I was just saying. Where I was like, where's the level of morality? Where's the level of consciousness? Where's the love and respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that? Right? But I can tell you one thing.
Dennis, who would do you that bold?
I saw it.
To walk in the
video.
I was trying to.
It's cool. Yeah, I saw that though. That was very unfortunate. And if somebody, the women would end up somebody doing something to them, then everybody would have been like, "Oh, it's so horrible that somebody did something to them." But look at how they're sitting here violating an elder in our community.
Oh my God, you are that bold.
Like that's totally out of order.
You are that bold.
But I do want to say something, right? Just changing the conversation a little bit because we're closing out here.
Yes,
we'll be done in 12 minutes.
Yes, we are,
so to speak, and we're just talking about this is technically the last day of Black History Month. Right. Was it something else that you wanted to talk about? I see you pulling up a few things.
I had one more, but go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I want to close out how things have changed. And it's a video I want you to pull up to address that.
What video would you like?
The video is called Male Karen Uses the N-Word.
You said what?
Male Karen.
Male, M-A-L-E.
Karen uses the N-word.
C-A?
No, K-A.
K-A?
You know how they be like Karen? Yeah, male Karen uses the N-word.
Okay. Uses the N-word.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah.
Black man slaps male.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I want you to pull that video up. We're gonna talk about how we have had.
It says the following content.
Just go to YouTube and
pull
it up. But we're gonna talk about some of the advancements that have been made in society today after you get this mess, after you tell this next story. Right? I thought this was very significant because it used to be a time where white people were just so comfortable disrespecting. That's it right there. Okay, so we're gonna talk about your story.
No, I'm actually done.
You done? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you load that up? Okay, so it used to be a time where they really
took it down.
I understand. And no, you still can do it. You still can do it.
Right here?
Yeah, push it. Just push that right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pause it.
Okay.
So there was a time where white people would freely just abuse Black people and use the word, the N-word, and disrespect Black people, and nothing would be done. There was no recourse. Black people didn't have freedom. Black people didn't have any type of liberty. They didn't have any type of rights. So when a white person would just come up and call you N-word, you nigger this, nigger that, it was just what we had to take. Right. And it was their word of saying, I hate you.
That's right.
And you can't do nothing about it. Now today in the world, we use the word, the N-word, a lot more. I hate saying the N-word.
Yes. Especially calling each other.
No, I just hate saying, instead of just saying the word, like,
right. Okay, I got
say
you.
Nigga,
well, we can't.
That's the word that we use, right? And instead of us, Joe Rogan just got in trouble for this. But anyways, instead of them, again, the word was used just as a way to degrade people, right? And now in the world today, we use the word nigger, You know, we don't use nigger. We were like, hey, that's my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
With
All
an A.
kind of these niggas.
Right.
Everybody hear this in their household every single day. These niggas, that nigga. I can't stand these niggas. Oh, what's up? That's my nigga right there. Right? But it's something about when you hear a white person say, hey, you nigga. That's something right there that just always just like it's just people, a black person DNA, the blood in their body just get
boiling.
Right? Who you calling a nigga?
That's a lawsuit.
You heard it all day long, but as soon as you hear a white person say,
go get a lawsuit. Go get a lawyer. Go get a lawyer.
Heard the word nigga all day long. All in your household, your brothers.
Yeah,
and your
right.
Yeah. But as soon as the white person said, who you calling a nigga? It's so we have advanced to a place to where white people are not allowed to say the word nigger anymore. It's a very offensive term, no matter how much we use it, no matter how much it's listened to in the rap music, no matter how much you hear you say it at the dinner table with your family, that if a white person say that word today, it's a problem. They getting canceled, they getting talked about. They gotta say the N-word. You're the N-word. They can't say the word. But they say the word. I don't care. Well, we heard it in the rap music. All the black rappers are using the word nigga. You know, no, we didn't say nigger. We said my niggas.
They can't say Negro. Like, either Joe Biden say Negro.
Yeah, but Joe Biden say Negroes, right? But the word has been a derogatory term since its inception, of the way that white people have used it.
That's right.
What did Tupac say? Getting never. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go back to that.
Getting goals accomplished.
Getting goals accomplished. I can't even think of that exact acronym that he used. But okay, we've always.
I think it's niggas intelligent getting goals accomplished or something like that.
You said what?
I think it's niggas intelligent getting goals accomplished or something like that.
Something like that, right? But we've tried to make the word into something positive.
Right.
Like, hey, we can say this word. But again, in 2022,
don't do it to you.
I'm gonna show you some of the progress.
2022, don't do it to you.
I'm gonna show you some of the progress that we have made.
Yeah.
As black people.
Oh, I don't want to see this.
On what happens?
Going out with a bang.
What happens when white people? This is what happens today. I mean, back in the day, we were getting hung, beat, stabbed, shot, killed, castrated, raped. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Anything. But today, in 2022, when a white person uses the word nigger,
you ready?
This is what happens.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Bring it back. Rewind it back.
Again.
Who you calling a nigga? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch me do this hat. So in 2022, I just wanted to raise the awareness that the word nigger has changed significantly.
He knocked him clean to the floor.
So I just want to say, in the honor of Black History Month, things have changed.
He knocked him clean.
No way.
To the floor.
In the past.
To the floor, Dennis.
Would a white man be able to say the word nigger, and a black man put his hands on him?
Whoa.
And the interesting thing is that.
Can I ask one question?
Go right ahead.
What led him to say that?
They was having an argument.
Okay.
The white man said there's a difference between a black man and a nigger.
That's what he said.
And dude went off on He said, what? Who you calling a nigga? No, he done heard nigga about 50 times before he got to that restaurant. But when that white man said it, it triggered.
And this was at a birthday party? This is at somebody's party.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my point is that it was a time where a white person could just call you out your name, and there was no recourse.
Not cool.
But now in 2022, if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, it's a totally different. You say that word to the wrong person today, to the wrong black person, you might just get slapped 19 times in the face, right? And dude, the interesting thing is that he was conscious. He didn't punch him one time.
Oh my God.
He slapped him.
And then
treated him like a child.
Oh.
Slapped him over and over, told him, shut your mouth.
And then through his hat.
Slapped him like 17 times. Slap. You know, as a man, any man would rather get punched than slapped. You know that, right?
I guess.
Slap is the most disrespectful thing you could do.
He did whatever he could to get retaliation.
You never slap a man. It's just when you slap a man, that's the most disrespectful thing you could do is slap a man.
I guess.
Now, back in the day, what would have happened to him if he would have did that? He would have been hung from a tree. They would have tarred and feathered him. They would have took his skin off his body. They would have castrated him. They would have treated him like Emmett Till. If you would have slapped a white man like that back in the days. But again, in the spirit of Black History Month, I would advise white people to just stick to saying the N word.
My God.
Don't use the word nigger.
Please.
As well as black people, let's change our vocabulary. Please. Let's continue to progress.
Please.
In the spirit of Black History Month.
Yes.
And again, just beware that word is a very sensitive word as of today when we talk about black and white relations and where we have come from. And with that being said, this is the soul of the city. And we thank you for listening. It's been a great show today.
I have nothing else to say.
It's been a great show today.
I don't know which man to feel sorry for.
And, I
don't know.
We're going to look forward to seeing you all next month.
If God say the same. Hey, y'all, don't forget to become our Facebook friend. Go to facebook.com and type in HD High Dimension Radio. Become our friend there. Please like and share. Please subscribe to our channel at HD Higher Dimension Radio, or you can simply type in Soul of the City Gospel Radio Show on YouTube on this channel. All right. We love you all. Thanks so much. Keep us in your thoughts and your prayers. Until next time, we out.
We out.
All right.
Imagine more.